In life and in football, we long to be remembered. We fantasize about leaving a legacy.
Let's go be champions, boys!
Since Nick Saban secured his first SEC title at Alabama in 2009.
SEC champion, Crimson Tide.
Tremendous program, just ain't going to stop soon.
The Crimson Tide has become the gold standard in our sport.
Be the best in the world.
Time to make more room in the trophy case.
And this year's team is fighting to reclaim its crown.
Baby, we built this house on memories. Take my picture now. Shake it till you see it. And when your fantasies become your legacy, promise me a place in your house of memories.
It's a lot that goes with wearing the A.
When I see the trophies, I just think about greatness.
Think about the guys that came before me. I want to be remembered as a champion, a winner.
But sometimes, no matter how much you may resist, the torch is ready to be passed.
And when that moment comes, you better be ready to run with it. Once an apprentice, Kirby Smart is now a master. Since losing to his former boss in the 2021 SEC championship game, this Georgia juggernaut has been perfection personified. Back-to-back Nats, 29 straight wins. But these dogs are hungry for more.
Take my picture now, shake it till you see it, and when your fantasies become your legacy, promise me a place in your house of memories.
That's why we all came here, to win championships.
To chase those trophies, it's everything I've ever dreamed of.
I want to be remembered as one of the most winning programs in college football.
Being able to wear this G with pride.
We know this doesn't last forever.
It's true what they say. Eventually, all good things must come to an end.
But the best part about memories is that they last a lifetime.
For one final time,
It's the SEC championship game
on CBS.
And with that, we bring you to the House of Memories one more time on CBS. Welcome to the SEC Championship on CBS, presented by Dr. Pepper. And our matchup, two heavyweights, yet again. The number one team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs. The 8th-ranked Crimson Tide of Alabama. One unbeaten, one with only one loss on their season. It's a packed house. There's a lot of red and black and a lot of crimson and cream in here. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler. My partner's Gary Danielson, Jenny Dell down on the sidelines. Well, partner, everybody wants to win a conference championship when the season begins. You get to this point and you go, okay, it's right there in our grasp. But when these two teams, these two programs get together, it's bigger than that.
It really is. Every SEC championship that I've ever done, the last 17, the winner of this game got in the playoffs. I assume that's going to happen today. But the stakes seem so much higher. Alabama, with their record 6 championships under Nick, national championship under Nick Saban. And how about Georgia? They're going for college football immortality.
I know it's a half century ago, but it's like Ali and Frazier's trilogy a little bit.
Right.
I think one of the funnest things we've had to be part of this year is the maturation of the two quarterbacks, Jalen Milroe and Carson Beck.
I think you're 100% right. Going into this season, the biggest question marks in all of the SEC was who was going to play quarterback for these two franchises. Would they be good enough? Well, they have been good enough. They don't play exactly the same. Carson Beck, the trigger man, kind of stands on pitcher's mound, throws the ball. Jalen Milroe. After about 4 games, when he found himself, he has been almost impossible to stop. 2 of the best, most productive quarterbacks in college football.
One of the best football players in America has been a little bit iffy. Brock Bowers hurt in the Vanderbilt game. He came back after tightrope surgery in 26 days. We watched him warm up. He looks like he's ready to go.
He does. I think that he is obviously going to give it all he can in this game. 2 years ago, he was amazing against Alabama in this game. Looked at like McConkey's going to play. We'll look at Ra Thomas. Those are their 3 best receivers, the most productive players in their offense.
370 career receptions for those 3 guys. When you talk about players all over the field that could make a difference, I don't know. They're countless.
Yeah, it could be anybody. Let's start, though, with Alabama's pass rush. I think they have to do that, and they've got a pair, number 1 and number 2 in the SEC in quarterback pressures. Dallas Turner has 50. Chris Braswell has 49. They must be a factor in this football game, and I don't see how Alabama could win. But, Ness, you're right. The difference in these 2 football teams is there are great elite football players all over the field, and we're going to have the pleasure to watch them.
These are the 2-time defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs. Here they come. And walking down the tunnel and strolling in from Tuscaloosa, they'll be considered the home team today. The last team to beat Georgia 728 days ago. Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Woo, we're almost ready. But first, 3rd member of our team on the field is Jenny Dell.
Well, we got 2 quarterbacks making their first SEC championship start, and with history on the line, Carson Beck told me that the Georgia Bulldogs had 2 ways to approach this matchup, either protect or attack. He said they're not trying to protect their 29-game win streak. They're going to attack this matchup. Now, for the Crimson Tide, I asked Jalen Milroe, how can this Alabama squad beat Georgia? And Milroe responded, Jenny, the question should be, how can this Georgia team beat Alabama? Now, all season long, Bama's motto has been blank. Let all naysayers know. They want to remind everyone Alabama should be respected. And guys, we've got our popcorn ready for this one.
We are ready for this game, Jenny. Mercedes-Benz Stadium is electric. The SEC Championship on CBS, presented by Dr. Pepper, is sponsored by The Home Depot, Google, Aflac, and by Dr. Pepper. The Bulldogs and the Crimson Tide set to meet for the 73rd time, the 4th time in the SEC championship game, which is at hand. Georgia won the toss and deferred. Undefeated in conference play. Only the 2nd time that's happened, believe it or not. Georgia 12-0. Alabama 11-1. The mentor against the man he maybe taught too well. Nick Saban and Kirby Smart were underway. And this one's going to go
As a great
out of bounds and a flag down. So it'll come out to the 35.
Yeah, great play by Kendrick Law. You keep 1 foot out, that's enough to get it to penalty.
Free kick, out of bounds, kicking team. The ball we placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
So already a smart play right here.
You don't have to worry about how it bounces. If you take 1 foot out and 1 foot in, it's a penalty.
Smart play.
Yep.
All right, partner, you ready?
I'm ready. Hey, you know what? I've had a lot of big games, but this one has as big a feel as I've ever done.
Jalen Milroe brings out the Tide offense with good field position already. With that kick going out of bounds. The redshirt sophomore, Katy, Texas. Roydell Williams in the backfield with him. Fakes it to him and wants to go deep on the first pass. Almost intercepted. Milroe slipped a little bit and the ball came out funny.
I think he got hit as he let it go and it tipped. Zion Loud, number 96, I think got pressure in his face. Did he tip it? I think he did.
You called it. And on the other end, it was almost intercepted by Javon Bullard.
Well, nobody's been better throwing deep passes, but that time, Logue did the job on the deflection.
This is Roydell Williams trying to get to the outside. Maybe got 2. That's about it. The Crimson Tide offense, he's going to have to carry a load today because Jace McClellan with an injured foot, we don't expect to see him play. And Williams will have to carry the load along with Jan Miller and Justice Haynes in the Alabama backfield.
The discipline of this Georgia defense, they on the fly substituted. Got their pass rushers on the field.
On a 3rd down and 7. From the 38. Milroe trying to direct traffic and try to get Niblack in motion and does. And he settles into the slot. Low snap, 3rd and 7. Milroe plenty of time and now running out of it. And he's going to be dragged down way back at the 32 by Jalen Walker.
You know, there's a lot of talk about a spy can't handle Milroe, but sometimes you have 2 spies. Watch this look from Georgia. 2 of them. Which way you going to go? I got you.
As Kirby told us yesterday, Jalen Milroe defies spies. I don't know if he meant to be poetic about it, but certainly those 2 spies paid off and force a punt by James Burnett. And Makai Muse is back deep for the Dogs. Off the side of Burnett's foot.
It's going to work out, it looks like, though.
And it takes a definite Alabama bounce inside the 20.
It wasn't pretty, but effective.
Yep. Call it the 17-yard line. So 3 and out, and that means in comes Carson Beck, Jacksonville, Florida native, in his first season as a starter, and he's perfect. Our lineups presented by Dr. Pepper. The first pass he completes, he'll be in the number 2 spot all-time single-season pass yardage leaders in Georgia history.
Well, if he does it, he's going to have to throw it against the best pair of cornerbacks he's faced all year.
And he'll take the snap from Cedric Van Pan, who's making his 43rd consecutive start as the center of that offensive front for Georgia. There's the pass. There's Brock Bowers. There's a first down and a bunch more. Bowers bowls his way down to the 41-yard line.
Split zone, tight end in the flat. This is something that you could have with the tight end. Kind of fakes the block, a little bit of a keeper to the outside, and they target on the first play their best player.
So we know he's ready to go, that's for sure. What we've seen for 3 years from number 19, a pickup of 23. They mark it right at the 40. First down, Georgia. Carson Beck whips it out in the flat. Got it to Dominic Lovett. And Lovett. Caleb Downs had to bring him down.
As Jenny said, we're not here to protect the 29-game winning streak. We're here to attack. When you got a gunslinger that's throwing the ball as well as this guy, you might as well let it go.
Lovett got into Alabama territory to the 46. Back-to-back first downs, and now Dejon Edwards cartwheels backwards for about 4 against the Alabama defense. That looks like this. Tresman Marshall, ironically enough, after 4 years at Georgia, now playing a main role in the linebacking corps for the Tide. He and Jermaine Burton both having transferred from Georgia, now wearing crimson. Beck's going to change things up on a 2nd down and 6.
With Bowers in there as a light tight end, they basically have 4 receivers, wide receivers on the field.
Bowers, that slot to the top. It's going to be a screen out to Edwards. And Edwards going to be a little bit short of the 1st down. Had Bowers out there as one of his blockers. He got a little bit of the defender, but not enough to get the 1st down.
Tempo on 3rd and short.
Number 1 in the country in 3rd down conversion, straight ahead on the quarterback keeper, and a 1st down at the 35. This is Georgia's opening drive. If you just joined us after Alabama went 3 and out on theirs.
And the group that is more likely to have long drives will be Georgia. When Alabama moves the ball, they move it in big chunks, not usually in long drives. Ladd McConkey on the field.
And Kendall Milton as well.
There's Ladd outside wide.
Now they shift 2 tight ends, both Delp and Bowers. And Dylan Bell as well, as they keep motioning people around. The play fake, a little stumble by Beck. Throws it on the run and throws a dart to McConkey at the 20.
And don't think of Ladd McConkey as a possession receiver. He's as fast as anybody out there, great route runner, and this time they take Brock Bowers away in the flat. So what do? Go to the next read. That's your job.
And a 15-yard pickup to the 20. That's McConkey in motion. And that's Kendall Milton. And Milton got about 3 inside the 20 to the 17 or close to it.
So what do you do if you're the Alabama defense? You must control something. Take away that inside running game and then try to get him in 3rd down and long, and then those 2 guys we talked about make a play. You know where Carson Beck's going to throw from. He's on pitcher's mound right behind the center.
Scored on 58% of their drives, 3rd in the country. 2nd best in the SEC to LSU. Kendall Milton, little hesitation and then explosion. Touchdown, Georgia. 17 yards in a streak for number 2.
Watch the Georgia right guard take on the blitz from Alabama. I think it's Ratledge, number 69. Watch this block. Watch him open up the linebacker blitz. Turns him out and pushes him 6 yards out of the hole.
What an opening drive for Georgia. Perfect balance. A little under 4 minutes to cover 83 yards. Peyton Woodring in for the point after. Up and good.
Not only perfect balance, but every phase of the Georgia offense contributed. 4 for 4 in the passing game, and that offensive line, they manhandled it.
8 straight games for this guy to get in the end zone on the ground. 7-0 Georgia. Stay in the know with CBS Sports HQ, 24/7 free network that brings you the latest news, picks, scores, and highlights from all the sports you love. Watch CBS Sports HQ anywhere, anytime, all the time. Kendall Milton seems like he's been on all the time the last 3 weeks of the season.
So as if Georgia didn't need another weapon when Kendall Milton got healthy, he provided one more weapon for this powerful Georgia offense.
Coming off a career-high 156 yards and 2 touchdowns against Georgia Tech in their regular season finale, and off to a sensational start here in the first quarter. Jared Zirkle to kick off for the 2nd time already for the Dogs. And Alabama will bring it out to the 25-yard line, where they hope to have better luck than 3 plays minus 2 yards on their first drive. For Georgia defensively, Tyke Smith, kind of odd sometimes to lead the team in tackles and interceptions. He does it. He's had a sensational senior season.
So, and obviously the other story, Jace McClellan is not playing in this game. Waddell Williams is the back. Waddell Williams has not had only 2 double-digit carry games this year.
There's Jace. It's too bad that he's not out there.
Yes, very important player for the team.
Yep. Got hurt in the Iron Bowl. First down from the 25, and it is Roydell Williams. Nice tough run, still going. Got about 6 out of it.
This is really the answer for Alabama to get this game rolling their way. This has not been a typical Georgia defense we've seen the last 2 years. They're giving up rushing yards. It's not what we've seen before. Those teams held teams all year to 70 yards, 75 yards for the season. This one's in the hundreds.
It's hard to be as good as those cats were.
And they're not.
Second down and 4, empty backfield. Milroe has all kinds of time. Deep middle and got it. Nope, in and out of the hands of his receiver, incomplete.
Coming across to make the play, Malachi Starks, number 24, the free safety, plays the ball, plays through the receiver. A tremendous defensive play.
And Malik Benson, the intended receiver, had his hands on it, and then boom.
And I believe that when I was looking at the secondary, I believe it was just a 3-man rush again. And he took a guy that's in the pocket right there, Jalen Milroe. He took his time to let it go.
Let's see if they can convert this third down. Third down at 4. Milroe deep down the left sideline, and Jermaine Burton didn't keep running, and the pass was way out.
I will tell you, Alabama was fortunate not to get called for holding that time on the pass rush. Right tackle J.C. Latham was beat inside. Watch him get his arm out right there on this play. Watch it upfield, inside, and grab 2 guys. Just kind of a little hold. I think a good no call, but keep an eye on that matchup.
Back-to-back 3 and outs. Mekhi Muse standing back, waiting on the punt from Burnham for the second time. This time, Burnham got all of this one. And Muse has to backpedal all the way to the 13-yard line. That's where Georgia will have their second offensive possession. Georgia off to a tremendous start, both on offense and defense, with a 7-0 lead. Georgia leads 7-0, becoming legendary if they can keep their string going. Some legends are true. Lawman Bass Reeves now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. Georgia looking for their 30th straight win. And what lies beyond, if they can win this game, they'll make the college football playoff and a chance for a three-peat. But first things first, long way to go. They lead 7-0. And this time Bowers, nice job defensively, brought down immediately by Malachi Moore.
2 veteran play callers in here. Mike Bobo had his way on that first drive, offensive coordinator for Georgia. But on the other side, they've got a veteran too, Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator. He's been around as long as there's been football, it seems like, in this conference, doesn't it?
Yep. Mike in that first shot was way down at the other end of the booth, away from our camera. And Kevin's been around the block, sort of seems like us.
Yes.
In certain ways.
I'll take that.
Loss of 3 for Bowers. Second down at 13, back of the 10. Carson back near his own goal line. Look out. Now in his own end zone. He's got to get rid of it. And it is caught by McConkey.
I don't think so.
Yep, trapped.
Yep. You can't, when you look at the, you can always tell by the other team's bench when they start signaling, if they get that eye look right there, they're all saying.
Especially when it's Nick Saban going like that.
Exactly. But the Alabama defense has stepped up. Stop on first down, now 3rd and long. Let's see if they can find that quarterback 7 yards behind the center. They do not like to roll out Carson Beck much.
That'd be the 2 guys Gary was talking about in the open. Chris Braswell, Dallas Turner. They'll be coming. Beck, though, goes deep down the middle, almost intercepted. It was intended for Bowers. And Malachi Moore knows that he had a gift there.
Yeah, I thought Caleb Downs was all over. I think this was going to Brock Bowers right here. Watch Malachi Moore. Excuse me, I think it's Caleb Downs, number 2, that is man-to-man on this play. Good coverage, and that ball sailed just a bit.
Yep.
Yep, just good hand fighting right there. You got to let that go.
So that'll bring out Brett Thorson, who's got a tough spot here. He's about 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Caleb Downs waits way back, number 2 on the other end in the middle of your screen. They're coming after Thorson. They got close. And Downs has everybody get out of the way and goes out of bounds, but going to be great field position.
Yeah, great answer by this Alabama defense that time. They got marched down on, but they came back and got a stop.
So far, nothing from their offense, but their defense stiffened that time. Now it's time for our reliable connection presented by T-Mobile 5G home internet. Talk about a reliable connection. How about this one a week ago? Milroe firing near corner. It's caught. Touchdown Alabama on a 4th and a mile.
We always keep thinking we've seen it all, and we never have we?
Bond. Isaiah Bond. On a 4th and goal from the 31-yard line to save the season and make this game as big as it is. That happened at Jordan-Hare a week ago. Here comes Jalen Milroe on the ground. Almost got the first down.
Yeah, not surprised by that at all. How do you get Jalen Milroe in the game? Started out 0 for 3. Why not just do a running play with him, get him involved, get him hit once, establish another weapon for this Alabama offense.
He got 9 at 2nd down of the yard.
It all changed for this Alabama offense against Tennessee when they started running him more.
No doubt.
Tommy Rees started using him, and that broke open the offense.
Jam Miller is in there right now, tailback. And he's got the first down. Pickup of about 4.
Robbie Oots coming inside with an inside fit from the H-back position, kind of like an ISO play, modern day ISO. Number 45 Oots comes inside and just runs right at this speedy defense. Watch Oots come inside and fill in. Just the old ISO play.
So that's Alabama's initial first down of the ball game. And they've got it at the Georgia 38-yard line. Jam Miller, good run. 8 more.
And credit that offensive line for Alabama. That time it was Tyler Booker, number 52, stood up his man. The strength of the 2 guards, 52 and 77 in the running game. A duo blow. Oh my goodness.
It's not to knock down Stackhouse like that is not easy.
They call it a duo. The tackle and the guard take them on, and they did it.
Milroe, all day to throw again. And now he's running out of it. He'll keep it and trot out with a first down.
That's the danger. You play great defense, and Jalen Milroe buys time. Goes one way. Imagine you got to cover and cover and cover and keep covering. And then all of a sudden, well, let's just take a first down.
Yeah, that's just trotting for him. That's really fast for a lot of people. That's how elusive he is.
Yeah, Warren Brinson said, I thought I had him.
So Alabama's got something working here inside the Georgia 27-yard line. And it's Milroe again. Off the read and a good run inside the 20. Run down and out by Dalen Everett.
Those 2 offensive guards for Alabama. This time it's Roberts. Watch him on this play. This is what you're asking your guys to do. Just folds down that Georgia offensive line. The insertion of Roberts in the line for Alabama has made them stronger.
And they've got ahead of the change right now again with a 2nd down and short.
3 receivers into the boundary.
Jam Miller is jammed up and dropped for about a 5-yard loss by Christian Miller.
Just maneuvered his way. He was matched up against Booker. Watch him maneuver right past him. Oh, actually McLaughlin could not get to him. The center could not get the reach that time.
Tried.
Yep. Penetration by the defensive line. They don't stand still sometimes.
Remember, Jalen Milroe has not completed a pass yet. 0 for 3. As Gary mentioned a few moments ago, they've been getting to this point on the ground. Now they may have to throw on 3rd down and 9.
And how many do they bring? They bring 6.
Milroe fires, end zone.
Oh, watch out. Right near the wall over there.
Yeah, those two guys went right into the...
I don't know if I should say watch out for the player or the guy sitting there in the corner. You could tell the ball was overthrown, and that could have been dangerous for somebody.
Yeah, including the camera guys working over there. And it looks like everybody's out of the way okay. Meanwhile, Jermaine Burton's
right down
going...
the middle. Yep. Yeah, but when you're flushed one way, it's really hard to get your eyes back to the middle of the field like that.
Right. Will Reichard, a senior kicker, will try from 43 yards away to become the all-time leading scorer in college football history. And he's got it.
Snuck it in.
There you go. Congratulations, Will. And it cuts into the Georgia lead as well. 7-3. Dogs in front. And now a taste of tradition presented by Sonic. Last night at the College Football Hall of Fame, 14 former players were named SEC legends. Among them was former Georgia running back Sean Moreno, who ranks in the top 10 in school history in both rushing yards and touchdowns. Another honoree, former Alabama All-American Andre Smith, the 2008 Outland Trophy winner, was a two-time All-SEC selection. Congratulations to those guys and the entire 2023 Legends class.
We're taking it back to 08. Taking it back to 08.
They took it back to 08 last night. Congratulations, guys.
We covered both of those guys in our day, and great football players.
So Georgia's offense will go back to work under this guy's tutelage.
Just wanted to make sure that Mike Bobo is here.
Yeah.
I wanted to document that.
Mike's on the near end, not the far end. He's up for the Broyles Award as the top assistant coach coordinator in the country and one of 4 finalists, and that'll be announced in Arkansas on Tuesday. Let's check in with Jenny.
Well, as you guys just saw, Will Reichard now holds the NCAA career points record. And though all that moment was huge and he's been in so many high-pressure situations at Bama, one person is missing. Will's dad, Gary. Gary was his first kicking coach, but passed away in 2016 from pancreatic cancer. And after the kick, you see, he points up to the sky. That's a way he honors his father. Guys, he said his dad would just eat this up. Now, as for Will, he told me he'll appreciate the record after the season, but his focus today is just doing his job in this game, guys.
Yeah, he wants to get a few more kicks and a few more points. Right now, Alabama's trailing by 4 with 3:43 to go first quarter. And Deshaun Edwards for about 5. Deshaun, the leading rusher, coming in, even though Kendall Milton's had those 2 back-to-back huge weeks. But this guy's Mr. Dependable. They're 2 different kinds of guys, runners. This guy is shifty. The other guy is powerful and a burst of speed, as we saw in his 17-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, stuck the point of attack that time. That's exactly the way Alabama wants to play defense.
Somehow got 2 yards out of that.
Attack that blocker. Don't let him move you back. Running right at you. Stuff them. Peek around them. Shed the blocker if you can, but make a pile.
That was just a stalemate.
You're right.
A big pile is right.
Just make a pile.
Still Milroe without a completion. Beck's 5 of 7. And an empty backfield. It looks like Carson Beck does not like the play call or the formation.
Yeah,
have to call a timeout.
Yes. Not only was Carson Beck not happy with it, but the 2 players he had to tell what to do had no idea what to do.
First time out of the ball game. 2:24 remaining. First quarter. The SEC championship game on CBS.
Welcome back to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Georgia is up 7-3, and I just got word that Bulldogs right tackle, Amarius Mims, he's currently out of the game with a left ankle injury. I'll try to get more information, guys.
All right, Jenny, thanks. That's been a problem for him most of the year.
Yeah, he had tightrope surgery as well as Brock Bowers. Xavier Truss will move into that right tackle spot.
They're down at 2. Run blitz, and it pays off.
I'll tell you. The attack by the true freshman leading tackler for Alabama. Watch Caleb Downs read this play and turn it back in to Dallas Turner. Shot from that secondary. Number 2 is going to come up and hit it full speed. Nowhere to go. There he is. Turns it back into all the trash inside. Cleaned up for no gain. Another defensive stop for this Alabama defense.
Dallas Turner will get credit for the tackle for loss, but Downs is the one that helped the cause, and it's forced another Brett Thorson punt.
Yeah, your job sometimes. Just turn it in.
Yep. Thorson's kick will force a fair catch way back inside the 10-yard line.
How good of a kick is that?
Caleb Downs, nice job by Thorson. Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS Week 13 slate, headlined by a key AFC matchup when the red-hot Broncos take on the Houston Texans, led by their sensational rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud. All starts at noon Eastern with JB and the guys, joined by special guest J.J. Watt on the NFL Today tomorrow. The NFL's on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
I think it was nice for the guys to let in the defensive player.
I think so, finally. That was a 60-yard punt by Thorson.
Hey, remember the last drive? Alabama started it by a run by Milroe, and then they went power. Let's see how they come back this time from Tommy Rees trying to get this offense started.
He still hasn't completed a pass here in the first quarter. They'll keep it on the ground. Roydell Williams. This time the bad snap almost paid off because Williams got to the mesh point with Jalen Milroe and he was still trying to catch it.
I don't know if this is part of the offense now, but I think the Georgia defense, when they see that snap, they kind of freeze, like, where's the ball? And then he pops out the other side.
There's a knuckleball coming back there, but Williams made it a big gainer for him. And now he's got another one, almost a face mask in there, as he picked up 6 or 7 more.
This is becoming a story right now. The 2 guards for Alabama, Roberts and Booker. Watch it again. He gets the big player, just clears it out. Little help from his tackle. That duo of players, they call it a duo block. The guard with help from the tackle. That's a lot of beef.
So second down and short, play fake. Milroe looking for his first completion. He's got it out to Williams in the flat. And a first down. Williams stepped out of bounds, but he does pick up the first down. Georgia coming in has given up about 118 yards a game on the ground. You think, well, that's good. And Alabama likewise 128, but look what the previous 2 years were like.
Absolutely. That's what I was talking about earlier. They're in their 70s for those championship teams, and this year it's been a little bit different.
Yep.
When you put 10 defensive players in the NFL, that often happens.
And 34 players drafted in the last 4 years. That's having some talent on your roster. Here's a big trio shift from the top of the screen.
Kendrick Law in the game kind of does a lot of different things for Alabama.
They'll keep it on the ground after all that motion and now throw it late. Oh, and almost picked off. And Javon Bullard says, not that time.
I think it's going to be illegal lineman downfield. It was probably an RPO. I think the right tackle was 10 yards downfield. J.C. Latham.
Great play on the ball by Bullard. Second time he's done that in the first quarter. Kyle Olson is our referee.
So as we end the first half, we're going to decide, Kirby's going to decide whether he wants to take the penalty or not.
I hope we're ending the first quarter, otherwise I missed something.
Oh, was it in the first quarter?
Yeah, not the first half.
I got my eyes glued.
I know you do. We don't want to miss a minute of this.
An eligible receiver downfield, offense, number 65. That penalty's declined, resulting in play second down.
I got that part right.
You got that. You got the whole thing right.
He's almost way out on. I think he's open. He's about 10 yards downfield.
Right about at the 45.
Goes, this is a pass play?
Well, we played a quarter between these two heavyweights. Georgia with the advantage on that touchdown run, up 7-3 at the end of the first. We head into the second quarter. SEC championship game on CBS presented by Dr. Pepper. With undefeated Georgia leading once beaten Alabama 7-3. Empty backfield on second down and 10 for Jalen Milroe. Three-man rush. Milroe goes down the middle. Got it complete. And a nice move. And that might be a horse collar or a face mask at the sideline.
One of the two. Add another 15 on the end of the play. Again, protection allows Milroe to stand in the pocket. Watch the end of the play. Left hand gets it on the nameplate, but I also think
face mask. Defense, number 22. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. First down.
Kobe Prentice with the catch. Javon Bullard with the face mask.
That last play again, both inside linebackers for Georgia spying. That means they're rushing 3, spying with 2. All right, that's 5. You only got 6 guys left.
Yeah. So Alabama gets helped by the penalty to move it inside the 30-yard line. And there's Roydell Williams bulldozing his way for about 9.
This Alabama offensive line is making a statement inside out.
They've coming off the ball.
Absolutely. In the first quarter, they've rushed for 50 yards. That's pace for 200-yard rushing game. They are mauling the Georgia defensive line.
See if they keep it on the ground. They do, but he's not going to get the first. Moments ago, Jenny was with Coach Saban.
Coach, how do you get Milroe to distribute the ball better?
Well, I think you just got to read it out. I think, a couple times he had guys who should have thrown the ball on time. He didn't do it. He just didn't straighten out. I think a little anxiety maybe about what's going on here. And same thing on defense in the first drive. We had a couple of mental errors, on formation adjustments. So just got to settle down and play.
Thank you, Coach.
Right. Well, Milroe tried a quarterback sneak to try to get that yard and didn't get it.
So Jalen Milroe reminds you of Jalen Hurts the way he plays quarterback, but he doesn't do the quarterback sneak as well as Jalen.
No, not that time anyway. He didn't get much of a push from Williams on his backside. And now it's 4th down and 1. Alabama 3 out of 4 on 4th down this year, and a couple of them came last week when they had to have them. A huge 4th down here early second quarter. Williams, he got it. Bullard made the tackle, needed 1, he got 2.
And they ran it right behind the strength of the offensive line. Behind Jaden Roberts, number 77, and J.C. Latham, number 65. That's their 2 horses.
Nice cut to the right by Roydell at the last second. Got him the yard he needed, +1.
This was the question. Could this Alabama offense put drives together? They've been good at chunk plays, but could they hold the ball and get drives? This is a nice drive. 9 plays already. This is number 10.
Play coming up. Nice mixture. Jam Miller. And flags fly. We're going to have a holding call on the inside this time.
Holding, offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Jasden Roberts, the guilty party. He doesn't think so.
He would be right here. Let's see what happens. Oh, I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah, that was more the right tackle knocking him down than the hold. He just kind of fell with him.
I'm shaking my head with Roberts on that one. At any rate, it's first down and 20. Niblack in motion. Milroe again, a wide snap. He's got a wheel rack to Jam Miller. Touchdown, Alabama.
Nice design play by offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. He creates traffic, and they know exactly who's going to cover the running back, and they block him on this one. You watch. Here's who they know has the running back. Watch them create the traffic. Just enough traffic. He gets caught up in it, and it's a touchdown.
22nd touchdown pass of the year for Jalen Milroe. For Jam Miller, his first as a receiver. And it caps a long scoring drive. The extra point is good. 92 yards in 10 plays. A little over 4.5 minutes. Alabama comes back from trailing 7-0 to leading 10-7 in Atlanta. .12:04 remaining first half. Alabama has taken the lead for the first time today. Will Riker to kick. And Georgia will let this one go. Bring it out to the 25-yard line. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, stay tuned for the Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway. Jenny will be running that show. Always fun, filled with emotion, some tears, some jubilation, and a whole bunch of cash. Coming up at halftime.
Well, coming up right now, this Georgia offense has gone 3 and out the last 2 times they've had the ball.
Alabama did that on their first 2 possessions. And now Georgia, after their machine-like opening possession for a touchdown, needs to respond. Both tight ends dealt, and Bowers shift sides. Glad McConkey in motion. From the 25, the toss sweep to Kendall Milton. Got about 5 before he's run out of bounds by Terry and Arnold. Nick Saban's had some good luck getting behind Georgia and working his way back.
Yeah, what did he say about his team is they've become comfortable being uncomfortable in football games.
The resiliency of some of the situations they've gotten themselves into, including 4th and goal at the 31 last week, and they found a way to win. They are going to keep it on the ground. Again, Milton going to be a couple yards shy. Nice job defensively by Alabama. And Desmond Marshall, the guy we talked about earlier, having transferred from Georgia, runs into some of his old teammates.
And Amarius Mims is still not in the football game. It is Xavier Truss, number 73, playing that right tackle position. That is a drop-off. Truss has played there all year, but he is not to the level that Mims is.
Not a lot of guys that are Mims level.
No.
Dejon Edwards checks into the Georgia backfield. Let's see if it's a 3 and out, if they can convert. Dejon will try to do it, and does. Got about 4 on the carry. First down, Georgia.
And usually when you run like that, that means Cedric Van Pran. He's wearing 77 today and honoring his fallen teammate, Evan Willock. This time the push goes right up the middle. Led right behind number 77.
Since that opening reception by Brock Bowers, he's been quiet. He's lined up in line as a tight end. Carson back and complete. Got it to Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint for the first down.
Watch Carson Beck go through his progression. He looks right, he looks left. He clutches it a couple times. Left, right, find it, and he does.
Boy.
Good protection, but a good job by a quarterback coming probably to his 3rd target on the play.
And Rosemy-Jacksaint stretched those arms out, caught with those 2 hands way out in front of him for a 21-yard gain. Arian Smith in motion for Georgia. Beck comes near side this time. Another nice catch. This one by Dylan Bell.
You know, there's really, when you lose Brock Bowers, nobody wants to lose a star. But one of the things that has helped Georgia during that time when he was out is the emergence like guys like Dylan Bell.
Yeah.
They found more go-to players because of Bowers not being on the field.
Dylan has run the ball at times. He's caught the ball. He's thrown the ball. A little bit of everything. That time picked up 6. So Georgia's moved it inside the 40-yard line of Alabama at the 36 of the 2nd down and 4. Blitz coming. Dejon Edwards trying to follow his blockers and spins his way for a Georgia first down.
That's the 2nd time that this Georgia offensive line has timed out the blitz. It's a rush blitz this time, and they pick it up on the go. Good job of cutting that off, making the play. When those guys are coming full speed like that, last time it was Tate Ratledge, they got the job.
Van Pran pulled out from his center spot, got a good block as well, and Georgia continues to move it here as we approach the midway point of the second quarter. Kendall Milton, number 2, back in there behind number 15. He's got the Georgia touchdown today. Bell in motion. Beck rolls one way and now goes deep. Incomplete.
That was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, Arian Smith, the intended receiver. Could have been picked off, though.
Yeah, the opposite corner that really doesn't come into your eye this time. I think it was McKinstry. Comes from one side to the other. Watch, he just lays off, just looks at the quarterback. Quarterback will never see that guy come in the post the other way, and he falls back on it. He thought he had it, what, 6 inches away?
Yep. Kool-Aid got his hands on it, tipped it away. So now 2nd and long. McConkey will settle in after being in motion, and he'll be in motion again. On the bootleg, the throws to Delt, the other tight end. I shouldn't call it the other tight end. It's just that when you got
I think it's
Brock
descriptive.
Bowers out there.
I think it's descriptive. I knew right away who was throwing to.
Caleb Downs made an open field tackle. Georgia trying to hurry up. Alabama trying to change things up defensively.
They did. They got their subs on. Good job by Alabama.
They had to hustle, and now Georgia will take its time to try to line things up here.
The officials tried to spot the ball as quickly as they could, and Alabama beat them with the substitution.
So 3rd down and 7. Remember, Georgia, the best in the country at converting 3rd down. 2 out of 4 today. Beck in trouble. He's going to get the first down and dives forward. Nick Saban told us yesterday he's not Stetson Bennett, but I don't know how many times on 3rd down and like 6 he finds a way to get a first down.
And I brought up the name of Drew Brees, who used to do it to him at Purdue when he was at Michigan State. As a passing quarterback, you don't need to run for 100 yards, but these key first downs when you don't have it, just give me a first down and then get down. I don't need you to get hit.
Picked up 9 to move the chains. Again, this drive almost a perfect blend of run and pass for Georgia as they moved it into the red zone at the 19-yard line. Kendall Milton, nothing doing that time. Nice job by Deontay Lawson, the linebacker.
He did. He timed it up many times and didn't make the tackle, but he got it.
Texas made their statement today as Big 12 champions. Washington made their statement last night as the Pac-12 title holders with their win over Oregon. Still a lot to be sorted out, but these two teams are both playing, and they pretty much know it for a college football playoff position. Milton trying to get wide, tripped up for a loss, the same guy.
Back-to-back plays. Deontay Lawson, who struggled with injuries this football season himself, but he's going now. Watch the quickness on this play. He recognizes it, and he runs it down. 2 outstanding plays made by the inside linebackers.
No doubt.
From Alabama.
There's the numbers on Deontay this year. That last play was as good as a sack. The tackle for loss makes it 3rd down and 12. Georgia's got to get all the way to the 9-yard line to pick up a first down. Beck, here comes the heat. Down he goes. They get to him, and it's Dallas Turner.
The 2 guys that had to be a factor in the game. You know where the quarterback's going to be. This is an NFL-style offense that Georgia runs. Their quarterback is there. It's 3rd down. What can you do from the edge? And he does something from the edge.
That's his 9th sack of the year. And that'll force Georgia into a field goal situation. Peyton Woodring is a freshman. Had a little trouble at the beginning of the season, but he has come on now and hit 16 in a row. This from 45 yards away to try to tie the game. And it's going to be a false start on Georgia.
It's going to be from 50 yards now.
False start. Kicking team. Number 55. 5-yard penalty. And it's fourth down.
Back-to-back losing yards. The running play, the sack, and now the penalty. Making a chip shot field goal, just a little flinch inside.
Woodring's career-long, season-long 48 yards. This from 50 for the tie. On the way. He hit the right upright and came out.
And remember, the 5 yards made the difference. 5 yards closer, that's good. The angle just kept widening and widening and widening.
That close, and yet that far away. Still 10-7 Alabama.
The NFL on CBS streams on Paramount Plus
all season long. Zucker from the end zone with this cheap update. Number 7 Texas leaving the Big 12 for the SEC in style earlier today. 35 points by halftime against Oklahoma State. This triple reverse, part of a Big 12 title game record performance from Quinn Ewers, their first conference title since '09 and responsible for Bama's only loss, guys.
That indeed.
Yeah, you know
in Tuscaloosa.
You know what they're saying down there. How you gonna keep us out, right?
Both Kirby Smart and Nick Saban, when we talked to them about that very thing, about the next step to the season, neither wanted to talk about it too much, but they made it pretty clear the SEC champion is not in the playoff. It's a travesty. I believe that was Kirby's word.
Yep.
We got a whole half and 4.5 remaining here.
Can Georgia solve the running game?
Roydell Williams is the running back. They fake it to him, and Milroe wants to go deep. Airs it long. He's got a man out there, and Burton in and out of his hands, but a flag flies in. We're going to have pass interference on Malachi Starks.
I hate that underthrow pass interference play. Not a good throw. The DB keeps running. The receiver stops. I don't know, Gene. Tell me, what's a defensive back supposed to do?
It's such a difficult play, as you said, Gary. Pass interference, defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty, first down. As you said, you got a D-back that turns to find the ball, but then the ball is so underthrown, he almost has to gear it down a little and try to play it because the receiver's going to work himself back to try to get it.
Yeah, felt like they both just were fighting good well. He was looking back, but the defender always seems to be the one that gets the call on that one.
But after the missed field goal and then that penalty has given Alabama great field position. They're on 47. And Roydell Williams on the carry. Let's test your knowledge with today's Aflac Trivia question. Kirby Smart is the second head coach to lead his team to a 12-0 start in 3 straight seasons. Who was the first? This one's not easy.
No.
I mean, you could maybe Google that, and it could be hard for you to come up with something.
Got the bear front, 3 men inside, 2 edge players.
Second down and 8. And it's Milroe trying to keep it to the edge. And he's very close to the first down.
So Georgia has struggled all year on the zone read with quarterbacks keeping it off the edge. This time a great read by Jalen Miller. Remember, he's going to outrun most anybody on the field. Might be the fastest Alabama player.
Peyton Thorne got some yards for Auburn against Georgia in that capacity. Spencer Rattler did it for South Carolina. Some of the games that they trailed, by the way, which they're trailing right now. Third down and 2. A short 2. Georgia's half of the crowd making some noise here. The blitz. Jan Miller is jammed up, but he got it on second effort.
Tyke Smith got up there, playing that star position, the strong safety, number 23, to help out. Watch him come from the left side, just out of the screen. Comes in there. You see him show up right now, but pushes his way through.
Great second effort.
Yes.
And so that'll keep the Alabama drive moving.
Thought Michael Williams did everything he could on that play.
Yep. A blitz again. Milroe has time. Delivers high, incomplete. Intended for Kobe Prentice.
Again, good protection by this Alabama offensive line. Ball thrown maybe, a foot too high.
Yep.
The receivers like going up and catching it in their eye level or just a little bit above. They hate bending down near their knees to catch it. They lose sight of it.
Milroe still only 3 out of 9, but his rushing and the penalties have given them an opportunity here, and Georgia's into the field at the 43. He fakes the toss sweep. Here comes the heat. Down he goes for the first time today. And it's Warren Brinson.
And if you watch tape, Warren Brinson, number 97, has caused more havoc the last few games. He has been a difference maker on that defensive line for Georgia. Making plays, continuing his rush, not giving up and fighting, and this time he crawled for him to make the sack.
Crawled for that ankle and then held on for dear life. So that puts it back in Alabama's end.
And Alabama will take as long as they can. Georgia has 2 timeouts, and they get the ball to start the second half. Alabama will slow it down here, take as much clock as they can.
Well, a loss of 11 makes it 3rd and 21, and now the timeout. 1:34 remaining till halftime. 10-7, Alabama. We didn't give you a lot of time to try to figure out the Aflac trivia question, but it was Kirby Smart, second head coach, to lead his team to 12-0 start in 3 straight seasons. Who was the first? Walter Camp in Yale. But the hook there is they were also the Bulldogs.
You got it.
Good job, partner. Thanks. Here the Bulldogs are down 3.
So what do you do for Alabama? Long yardage. It's not 4th and 31.
I don't know. Do you throw it to Isaiah Bond?
Right. Or do you run the ball, force a timeout here? Throw it deep, run it short? What are you going to do?
We'll find out right now.
Does not look like Georgia's going to use the 2 spies. They're coming after him.
Milroe sets down the middle, and possession to who? Nyblack.
Yep. Short of the first down.
You got a big chunk of it back.
Yep. 5-man rush that time. Still did not get to Milroe. That offensive line doing a really good. Remember this problems Alabama had early in the season with 4 sacks a game they were averaging? They seem to have figured that out.
They have. So now we got a 4th and 5 coming up. Decide what Alabama's going to do. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Adam, Rick, and BJ over there in the end zone. To our right, we'll break down the first half and bring you the rest of the championship Saturday highlights and weigh in on the impact they have on the college football playoffs. It's fun to join the guys over there in the pregame today.
I think a good aggressive timeout call here by Kirby, forcing Nick Saban to decide. If they don't make it, you get it in great field position. Sometimes these don't work out, you know, but I like, remember, don't protect, attack. He is attacking with a timeout right here, forcing this Alabama team to decide what they're going to do.
Now they're going to go put the offense out there. Would have been about a 55-yard field goal by Reichard attempt. And so now it's 4th down and 4. They've already picked up 1 4th down today. This one's got to get them to the 33-yard line. Georgia with that shift on their front line that we see every week.
They're going to try to draw them off sides first. With it being 4th and less than 5, they would like it just a gimme first down.
Clock winding its way down, 6-5, and Nick Saban with the timeout. Was worth a shot?
Yes, but again, the aggressive call by Kirby to take his timeout forced a counter from Nick Saban. What would he do?
Little chess match going on between 2 old friends, big-time rivals. Minute 25 left in the half. Alabama with the lead.
Nick Saban says, I'll take your aggressive and raise you one.
Wow. 4th down and 4. They will go for it. Blitz on the way. Milroe lobs it far side. Bond, did he get it?
He did.
He did.
Hey, that offensive line for Alabama, you got to hand it to him. That was an aggressive attack. And that offensive line gave him plenty of time to throw the ball down deep.
On 4th and 4, they pick up 22.
Just go to 17 on 4th down, right?
Exactly. Miller, no gain on that one. Dropped by Nazir Stackhouse. And again, the end of the play. And Isaiah Bond, who's become a legend in this season.
Popped out a little bit.
Under a minute. Milroe scans the field to the end zone. And it's caught. Jermaine Burton. Touchdown, Alabama. The gamble pays off. First to Bond, then to Burton. And Alabama stretches their lead.
Watch the inside technique right here. Burton has to go outside, and then he gets back inside to catch the ball against Everett.
And against his old teammates from Georgia.
Oh, what a nice little, at the top of the stem. He just didn't bend in. He had that little fake. That's what made the play.
Reichard's extra point is good. Alabama goes to a double-digit lead in dramatic fashion again here late in the second quarter.
Watch Jermaine Burton at the top of the route. Just that little wiggle. He just doesn't cut in. He finishes his route, and that's what frees him up. Coming right at you. Watch, he gets up top. Watch the little dice play. That can get you open. That's what the quarterback loves, and Milroe delivers. Kirby takes the aggressive timeout. Nick raises it, and it pays off.
And it caps a 68-yard drive in 9 plays. A little less than 4 minutes. And on 4th and 4, 22 yards to number 17. And then let's go to an old Bulldog who's now a second-year Crimson Tide wide receiver.
Got inside Dalen Everett that time just enough. Everett, I think, got a piece of the ball, and he still caught it.
Reichard's kick will sail out of the back of the end zone.
How about this answer from the Alabama football team?
Oh, boy, whatever. 48 seconds remaining in the half. They trailed 7-0. Now they lead 17-7. Don't forget, just a few seconds from now, Geico halftime report. Rick, DJ, Adam break down the first half and bring you the rest of the highlights from championship weekend.
Well, I expect Georgia will be aggressive here. Got a timeout left. Need about 45 yards for a field goal try. You got to trust your players and your quarterback.
Four receiver group for Carson Beck from the 25. He's going to throw short. Dejon Edwards out of the backfield. He dives across the 35. Beg your pardon, across the 30. And trying to get lined up here as fast as they can. McConkey is basically limping back to the line of scrimmage.
He was.
Beck. It can't be McConkey. And now Beck's just going to hit the deck. And if Georgia takes their final timeout, it'll be right here, but I don't think so. And Ladd McConkey, that is probably the end of the day for him.
Absolutely. Did not play last week, gave him an extra week rest, warmed up, thought it was okay, but you get in the game, it's always different.
I guess Georgia's going to throw one long here and ask him for the ball, not getting it.
I don't think, I think they'll run the clock out.
They did. Beck wanted it, but I don't think Georgia was going to snap it. And the Alabama fans are elated. Let's see about Ladd McConkey on his last route. And he got tripped up a little bit.
Yep, because he went off balance. That's when the weight went on there, where he couldn't control his own body when he lost his balance.
Let's go down to Jenny with Kirby Smart.
Coach, you are trailing by 10. You said that emotions and momentum swings would play a huge factor in this game. How did that play out for you in the first half?
Well, we had good emotions and good momentum swing early, and then it slid the other way. Their quarterback made some good plays, and we haven't converted on offense on some third and shorts.
What are you asking of this team in the second half of this game?
Oh, come out and play. We've been in this situation before. This team's been in this situation before. We get the ball to start the second half, and we knew that the whole time, so we want to take and be aggressive with that and come after it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And Kirby knows what he's talking about. The only time Georgia's trailed at halftime this year was 14-3 against South Carolina. We did that game. They came back and they won by 10. They've been there before. Can they do it again? But right now it's Alabama's game. The Bulldogs and the Crimson Tide just about set to start the third quarter from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And the SEC Championship on CBS presented by Dr. Pepper with Alabama in front. 17-7 is the score. We welcome you back. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Gene Steratore, and the reason Gino's in the middle of us right now. We're going to go back to a 4th down and 4 late in the second quarter. The pass that was a 22-yard gain to Isaiah Bond, and this is the play under question here.
Yeah, and it's a really tight play, Brad. And look, in these situations, 4th and 4, clock's running. You see live action. Replay officials are no different, really, guys, than officials on the field. In those situations with clocks running and things moving so fast, team coming up to snap the football, a replay official has to feel in real time that there's a potential that this may be something that it doesn't appear.
And so in your opinion, Gene, to cut to the chase here,
yes,
he should have stopped the game and looked more closely than what he did.
That's my opinion, Gary. Yes, I think you stop game at that point prior to that snap. You then slow this down. You take all the angles we give you.
Is it just because I reacted live?
You said, well, maybe not.
I know.
And I was hurrying up.
Is it just his hands, or could he have held it with his arm? Does that count?
But in my opinion here, when you have possession this way, as you're going to the ground, if that football hits the ground and moves in any way, then in my opinion, the football has aided you in the process of finalizing the catch.
It's a 10-point play.
It's a huge
play.
Could
have been 7 that Georgia gets, and Alabama gets, and Georgia would have got the ball potential for a field goal.
Exactly.
No question. And that's why I think you stopped the game, guys.
You got it. Thank you, Gene.
Thanks, Gene. So we spent most of our halftime talking about that, the three of us, and Craig Silver in the truck.
And I wanted to watch the Dr. Pepper thing.
And you missed it. You just said, did they already throw it? And I said, Andrew won $100,000. So here we go, second half. Georgia gets the ball first. And they'll let it go. Georgia's first drive went 83 yards. Their last 4 possessions, only 60. Jenny.
Yeah, Nick Saban was pleased with the way his team settled in the second quarter. He reminded his team at the half, this Georgia squad had won 29 games in a row coming into today. They know how to win and they know how to finish. He said, we need to prove that we know how to finish. Offensively, he's pleased with the way they're moving the ball, but they need to eliminate negative plays. Guys, coach said we need to play Alabama football, focus on passion, energy, and execution.
All right, well, they did in the first half, despite their first 2 drives being 3 and outs. Then it was field goal, touchdown, touchdown. Now let's see if Georgia can come up with an early third quarter answer. Screen pass to Brock Bowers. And brought down after a short gain by Jihad Campbell.
In my eyes, and Brad, you know him as well as I do, Brock is playing. He does not look as quick as he normally does. 75% maybe?
Yeah, right around in there. And now Ladd McConkey probably out with that ankle. And that takes away 2 huge weapons.
McConkey's back in the game. Ladd's in there.
All right. Well, he must have gotten retaped and everything else. He's part of that 3 receivers to the right. And now one of them, Dylan Bell, comes back to the near side on 2nd down and 7. Dejon Edwards trying to get wide. Finally did late. And then knocked his own man, Marcus Rosemy-Jackson, out of bounds right into Nick Saban.
This is the story of Dejon Edwards all year against everybody. Everybody misjudges the way he runs and his speed. He looks like he's cruising. Everyone takes the wrong angle, and he runs through those arm tackles.
So Georgia with an opening first down to the 37-yard line. McConkey down to the bottom of your screen. Let's see if he will be any kind of factor in this second half. Carson Beck throws out. Rosemy-Jackson, maybe a 2-yard gain before he's mauled.
Great defense by that Alabama defense. He wanted to go fake screen wheel. It was covered.
First half game trends. Jalen Milroe started to heat up once he started using his legs. His arm warmed up, if that makes sense. Carson Beck, 7 different guys.
Yeah, and McConkey, Ladd McConkey's really struggling. He's out there, but he limped off coming off the field again.
Alabama converted when they had to, including that 4th and 4 and that 22-yard controversial play that we just talked about a couple of minutes ago. That's Bowers on the move. Beck throws right side, but it's going to be Jack Saint. And oh boy, at the last second, he almost got the first down, but he's short. It's 4th and 1.
Third down.
Third and 1.
Yep.
AT&T pylon cam shows that he struggled and just still a yard shy.
Very good route against Terry and Arnold that time. That's how you have to run him. Go up the stem, come back down. These two elite corners for Alabama, both were drafted in the first round.
Let's see if it's Dejon Edwards time or it's a quarterback sneak. It's a pitch. Edwards. Great penetration by Alabama, and they stop it.
We just talked about Terry and Arnold. One of the things that the Alabama secondary does, both of the quarterbacks, McKinstry and Arnold, they will tackle. They will play the run. Watch him play the run. He's got Oscar Delpa, tight end, in his face. He takes it on and makes the play.
That's Alabama defense right there.
You love it when your corners will play run defense like that. You've got something special.
And so Georgia wanted to take advantage of their opening possession of the third quarter. Instead, it's a Thorson kick upcoming. His last one was a 60-yarder. Caleb Downs, fair catch called for, but it's into the end zone. And Alabama gets it right back. Their defense comes up big. They've got a 10-point cushion, and their offense is out there when we come back. Now it's time for Do Project Smarter, presented by the Home Depot. We talked about the evolution of the offense of Alabama over the course of the year. Their defense likewise, Gary.
Yeah, they really have stepped up in this game. You know, they have decided this Georgia offensive juggernaut that we've seen move the ball against everyone, they're going to muscle it. And they have. They have been a difference. They are winning on the defensive line, and they are winning on the offensive line in this game. Georgia is not used to this.
That's what I had talked about earlier. The opening drive was 83 yards, machine-like for a touchdown for Georgia. Their last 5 drives haven't even netted them that many yards. Meanwhile, Jalen Milroe and Rodell Williams have carried the load, the arm and the legs of the Alabama offense. They've gone field goal, touchdown, touchdown on their last 3 possessions. Let's see how they do here. Short game for Williams.
Zero Stackhouse that time did a good job of making those piles. Right now, so you got to make a pile. Don't let them push you off the ball.
Alabama going a little bit of tempo here. Williams and stuffed this time. Michael Williams and Tyke Smith.
Same play. Remember, Tyke Smith came in late on a first down play. He's in the same position this time, but gets there a half step earlier. Michael Williams forces it 1 hole wider, and that leads to the tackle.
And it leads to a 3rd and 8.
Can they get any pressure? How does Georgia get pressure? They're in that look when they spy 2 players. They do. 2 spies.
Milroe going to go deep. Man there in between 2 guys. Nyblack and Burton were in the same spot. Well, it's incomplete.
He was thrown to Nyblack, and Malachi Starks was in good phase that time. Ball again underthrown, and Nyblack tries to come back, but does not come up with the catch. Really good coverage that time by Starks.
And so Georgia does what they want defensively.
Again, 3-man rush, 2 spies on the play. Don't see that much very often at all.
Makai Muse has taken the distance this year. Burnett averaging 53 a kick. And forces a fair catch by Muse around the 30-yard line this time. 10:36, 3rd quarter. Both teams have had an offensive possession. Georgia gets their second in a moment. The SEC Championship on CBS, presented by Dr. Pepper, is sponsored by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Invesco QQQ. State Farm. And by Dr. Pepper. College Football Hall of Fame just down the street from where we are here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. The SEC title on the line. Invesco brings you today's Scholar Athletes. Brock Bowers from Georgia and Jalen Milroe from Alabama, two of the stars of these two teams. Invesco proud to support student athletes on and off the field with a donation to both Georgia and Alabama's general scholarship funds.
Carson Beck is calling up to offensive coordinator Mike Bobo asking, where do you want me to go with the football here? Two nicked receivers. How did this Georgia offense get started?
That's Bowers in motion and Kendall Milton in the backfield, but it's Beck to throw on first down. He's going to air it out long. And Arian Smith has got it at the 20-yard line. That's how you get it going.
The first explosive play of the football game, and Georgia produces it. A little bit of motion, and boom, there he goes right down the middle, matches up against a safety. Beautiful formation, nice call, and Mike Bobo, when Carson Beck asked, said, I got something for you.
Arian Smith, the fastest guy on the Georgia team, a 51-yard pickup to the 20-yard line. And whistle stop play here.
On the field of a completed catch is under video review.
Okay, so we'll review this one.
I did not notice him bobbling that ball at all. Let's look at it. Gene, weigh in if you want.
At this point, I haven't seen anything that would cause me to think it would be overturned. We can see him going to the ground. I don't see the football hit the ground here. He's falling here with possession, as we all can see. There's nothing there that shows me he lost control of that play, guys.
He had his right hand and his left hand on it the whole time. Unlike the one you pointed out a little bit earlier.
At least in this instance, they stopped it to look at it.
Yes.
Put it that way.
Well,
there's a really good look there, too, guys. I thought that was a very good look.
I don't know if that's going to make up for the other one right now, but let's just call it that they replayed it and they looked and they felt the other one was a catch. Nothing Georgia can do about it. They're all signaling catch. The other one, they just got to play forward, right? They can't think about the last one.
It's a 51-yard pass play.
First explosive play of the game. I was looking at the stats during the commercial. Nothing big. Yeah, 20-yarders, 30-yarders, but nothing huge like this play.
And you can't tell in a situation like this if it's the Georgia fans that are booing or the Alabama fans that are booing, because it's kind of split down the middle here. Here's a call.
After video review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Well, now it's cheers, and we know that's Georgia's fan. So they spotted at the 19 after this catch.
And the criticism that Gene had, I think, is legit about not stopping it before. I mean, the other play was a much closer play than this one.
Yeah. Well, Georgia's in the red zone. After sputtering on their last 5 drives, they light it up with that one. And a first down at the 19-yard line. Up to the line quickly. Here's a toss. Kendall Milton almost got face masked by Dallas Turner. Picked up about 4. And Milton's going, hey, he got my face mask. How about a call? And he's right.
I think Mike Bobo will see what fake jet to Dylan Bell. I think he'll come back and look at, and that's Kool-Aid McKinstry down.
And Turner came out holding his hip,
Turner too. Jeez,
yep. 2 guys on one play.
2 for 1.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, their all-conference corner, and Dallas Turner, who I think got away with a face mask on the tackle, gets the worst of it from Kendall Milton.
He actually, as he had his knee down, he got hit by the ball carrier, basically.
2 tied defenders down. A lot happened on that last play. Kool-Aid McKinstry, one of the 2 tied players, injured. He's going in the 10th.
And I think Mike Bobo, offensive coordinator, is also going to see a possibility that he will file away for later if the ball would have been handed off to Dylan Bell. Watch out for Bobo coming back to that later in the game. You know, if I saw it, he saw it.
So Trey Amos comes in for Kool-Aid McKinstry as Mike. Dallas Turner is back in there after kind of hurting his hip on that tackle. And it's 2nd down and 7 for Georgia. Play action. Beck to the end zone. Not quite. Bowers has it tipped away by the guy that just came in for Kool-Aid.
Yeah, they attacked the new player on the field, NFL-ish. That's what you do. You go after. Trey Amos is on the field, matching up. They both turn around. Boy, that is really good phase and good work by Amos that time.
No doubt. Now it makes it 3rd down and 7.
That's one of those, as a quarterback, you'll throw that 50-50 ball to number 19 and live with the results.
Georgia's in field goal range, but they don't want that if they can help it. They're looking for 7 here at the 9-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Dominic Lovett settles in the slot. Carson Beck looks one way, in trouble. Throws on the run, into traffic, almost picked off.
Fortunate on that one, wasn't he?
Bowers was the intended receiver, and Christian Story was the guy that almost had it, and Bowers now is kind of limping off again.
Yes, Bowers goes inside on the play, and then when he sees his quarterback run to the outside, nice undercut by Story on this play. Stays in phase, looks at the quarterback, and then undercuts. Should have had it. You catch that ball. That saves 3 points.
Well, they're going to go for 3 points. Peyton Woodring will try from 34 yards out. And it's up and it's perfect. Right down Peachtree.
Yeah, Georgia dodged one. That could have been a turnover. They ended up with 3 points. 1 possession game now.
Adam Zucker back with this Jeep update. We're going to the Mountain West Championship. Watch the fake by Boise State quarterback Talon Green, who ends up with plenty of green in front of him against UNLV. A Boise State team that fired their head coach less than a month ago is up 44-20. Give the job to interim Spencer Danielson.
I'm busy.
Right now, anyway. So's Harry Dog. His team just went 54 yards in 5 plays, but one chunk of it was 51 yards. Georgia had to settle for a field goal and a 17-10 Alabama lead.
So if I'm this Georgia defense, and I'm Glenn Schumann right now, the defensive coordinator, he's got to challenge that defensive line.
Next Saturday on CBS, our first college hoops action of the season features a Big Ten SEC matchup between Illinois and Tennessee. Tip-off Saturday at noon Eastern right here on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. 2 weeks from now, the CBS Sports Classic right here in Atlanta down the street at State Farm Arena.
Alabama ran for 50 yards in the first quarter when they were following those guards. Can that Georgia defense find the way to stop that running game?
6 deficits in that 29-game winning streak for Georgia. Another one here today. Quick throw, not a good one to Jan Miller, as Jalen Miller sort of short-armed that one. Nick Saban's never lost to Georgia in an SEC championship game. But he does have the team that was the last team to beat the Georgia Bulldogs. All of that and more on the line here in the next quarter and a half. Isaiah Bond in motion on a 2nd down and 10. Georgia will blitz. Milroe steps around, running out of time. Got away again. And he'll tiptoe out of bounds. Short gain, but he avoided the sack.
You're right. It's one thing to get pressure on Jalen Milroe. It's another thing to get him on the ground. That's what Kirby talked to us about. We can pressure him, but no one has gotten this guy on the ground the last 5 weeks.
It does force a 3rd and 8, though, with the short scramble.
And Alabama is 1 for 7 on 3rd down.
Low snap again. Milroe has to throw quickly and got it. Complete to Burton, and he's got a 1st down.
Corner blitz, but it came a little bit. Kamari Lassiter that time comes from the corner. Watch him. It takes too long to get there. Milroe sees it late. No one blocks him. He's still able to get the 10-yard pass off.
In front of Malachi Starks right there with a nice grab by Burton.
You get a free rusher, and they don't get there in time.
Milroe less than 50% completion, but 2 big touchdowns. The toss to Jam Miller. Miller with blockers in front. Dropped by Malachi Starks.
Remember, when that running game started going for Alabama, it started off after a Jalen Milroe run.
Yeah.
They have not called another one of those rushing attacks where it's just a designed, pull the guards, power runs for Jalen Milroe.
Rushing yards relatively even between these two teams. And the quarterback numbers on the plus side for Milroe with those 2 touchdowns. Here's an end around. And is it a horse collar or not? Nope. Yes, it is.
He threw it. The question
Story.
The question I got for Gene is, did he get his hands in front of the shoulder pads?
Well, you know what, Gary? The left hand is on the outside of the shoulder pad. I'm looking at the right hand.
Is that
both
outside?
It's really, really close. That left hand looks like it's on top to me, though, guys.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle.
I don't know.
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Let's see. One more look.
No, I'm good with it, Gary. You look at the right hand. It's inside the collar. On the last look we got, you see the right hand. It's in that collar, and it's abrupt. I agree with the call.
Okay.
Kirby Smart does not.
Kirby will meet you after the game to talk to you about that.
Kendrick Law was the ball carrier.
I thought he was on top of the shoulder pads, but just different ways to look at it.
Line of scrimmage at 41 now. 1st and 10. Roydell Williams with a head of steam. Nice run.
Again, that time penetration by that Georgia defensive line ended up creating a gash in that wall up front. Ran right by it. I think that time it was Logue again, number 96, Zion Logue. And he got right by him.
Got 6. As we approach 6 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Tide in dog territory at the 33-yard line. 2nd down and 4. Law joins the backfield.
Whoa.
And a low snap.
One of those plays again.
Milroe going to go to the corner to the end zone. Burton almost one-handed it. Incomplete as Dalen Everett was covering.
It appeared that he was surprised again by the snap here. Did it come early or just low? Yeah, it was early. I don't even think the offensive line knew it was coming. Throw it deep in those situations,
Been
right?
a problem all year long for Alabama. Stray snaps, snaps that don't come when you want them to, and some that do before you're ready. Seth McLaughlin's been playing center a long time, but he's an undersized center, and he's always thinking about somebody like Nazir Stackhouse in his face.
Kirby, this defense will come after him. They do with 5.
Milroe, this time they get to him.
They're in field goal range.
Hey, Milroe doesn't think he was down. And I don't know if I heard a whistle or not.
The referee called him down. He's signaling 4th down.
All right, let's look again.
Rolling on the field as the quarterback was ruled down.
He might not bet out. There's nothing you can do about this, right, Gene? He's been called down. Even if he wasn't, the play is dead.
You're right, Gary. Absolutely right. I was looking at the right shin. If you look at that look, great angle by our camera, look at Milroe's right shin right there.
It's down.
You see the shin and the calf down. It's a good call. Down by contact, guys.
You got better eyes than I do.
Well, they look for those shins. That's you got it. It's almost the back of the shin. It was like his calf muscle.
So it was a sack. It was a loss of 11. Milroe still not buying it.
Again, the aggressive defensive call. Georgia knew they were in field goal range. You knew they were going to blitz, and they came free.
So Alabama's got to give it up. Burn it to punt.
10 men out there for Alabama. No real big hurry here, whether you punt from the 45 or the 55.
We're still going to have time, I think.
Yes.
Just at 10. Muse waits for Georgia back around the 10-yard line. Burnup's kick. He's got to take the fair catch, but it's way back at the 5. Tough decision there. He was in no man's land. Do I catch this? Do I let it bounce and maybe it gets to the 1? All that's running through his mind, I'm sure. But that sack definitely helped the cause for the Georgia defense.
Jalen Walker, one of those speed guys off the edge, and he came free.
Carson Beck, last possession, might have hurt his hand. Jenny?
Well, it looks like Carson Beck might have hurt a finger, but I've been over here on the Georgia sideline. No trainers have come over to him, and he is back in the game, but something to keep an eye on, guys.
And it's not on his throwing hand, which is good news, but it's maybe very uncomfortable. First down, Georgia from the 6-yard line. And still the 6-yard line, maybe the 5, might have been a loss of a yard. Caleb Downs with a tackle. Boy, what a freshman he has been.
Leading tackler on the team, has played more snaps than anybody on the Alabama football team this year.
Georgia got a field goal on their last drive, their first points since that opening 83-yard march that just looked like they were going to go run away and hide.
I don't see Kool-Aid McKinstry back in the game, by the way.
Jenny just confirmed to us that he's out. 2nd and 10 in the shotgun from the goal line, an empty backfield. Back out to Ladd McConkey. Got it to maybe the 12-yard line. And I bet he's going to be slow getting up again. And he is. He's not 100%. He's not even close. Tresman Marshall, one of his own teammates from Athens, made the tackle.
And one guy's hurt catching the ball. The other guy's hurt blocking for the guy who's hurt.
Yep.
And he got spilled on from behind, did Brock Bowers.
3rd down and 3. Don't want to do anything crazy here. A punt wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Well, I think they need a first down pad. Doesn't it feel like that?
Yes. Back into some traffic, and he tucked it in there.
Beautiful throw. And
Dylan Bell.
Yeah, one of those emerging players that became more of a go-to guy with the injuries outside. Good coverage. Terrion Arnold was all over him, but the ball is thrown low and accurately, and that's the advantage of running that slant pay. Just get in front of him, and a good quarterback will handle it.
Now false start on Bowers.
False start. Offense, number 19. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Got to think with the bad leg and the bad ankle that he's just overthinking everything. He's trying so hard.
Well, and remember in this game 2 years ago when they played Alabama, he had 15 targets and 10 catches in this game.
Yep.
1 touchdown, 8 of them went for first downs. He was the go-to player in that game.
Season high tying 6th penalty against the Dogs. 1st and 15 now. Rosalie Jack Saint will come in and join the group in tight. They're going to come with the end around, and the ball is out. I think Georgia, no, Alabama's got it. Tresman Marshall.
Carson Beck thought Dylan Bell had the ball. Watch when he goes for the handoff, he just lets it lay there. He has no idea it's on the ground. Fancy ball handling. Come around, fake. Watch when he hands it off, he just pretends like he's got it already. They didn't.
And then it looked momentarily like Fairchild had covered it right there, but no. Tresman Marshall, a former Dog, with the big gift for the Tide.
We talked about it before the game. Would it be a big mistake or a big play that could cause the difference in this game?
There's a mistake.
There's a mistake. We'll see if this is the story of the game.
First turnover of the ball game, and a huge one in scoring position at the 11-yard line already.
Another one.
Jam Miller spins his way for about 3.
Of course, Jam Miller is in there getting plays because Jace McClellan is not.
McClellan out for the game. Didn't even dress. And Miller's been his replacement along with Roydell Williams. There's Glenn Schumann, the defensive coordinator, right next to the head coach.
Now you wonder if you'd use Milroe in the running game down here. How do you use number 4 in the red zone?
They can get a first down, the Tide at the 1-yard line. And it is Milroe running. Blockers in front, but not good enough. And he's run out of bounds for a loss. So Gary called it, but the play didn't net them anything.
Pretty sure they didn't hear me, but they defended it perfectly. You know, on that hit chart for this Georgia defense, red zone, look for number 4, and they did a good job of defending it.
This is the biggest play for the Georgia defense to try to force a field goal attempt out of that turnover. Carson Beck can only look on and hope his defense comes up with a stop on 3rd down and 9 in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Milroe. Somebody's in his face as he lets it go, and Burton, did he catch it?
Nope.
Close. Tried to kind of cuddle it on his lap.
Georgia went with the 2 spies again up front. Burton was open, but the ball was slightly underthrown. Watch the 2 spies. Right here, right here. They're just looking for the quarterback run. No quarterback run. Pressure. And they stop it. Great job of this Georgia defense. Forcing it. Just enough pressure inside by Walker, number 11.
So Will Reichert in to try to tack 3 more on. And the kick from 27 is good.
The Georgia defense had to have a stop, and they did.
So the fumble and the recovery by Alabama nets the Tide 3 more, and they're up 10. Tuesday night at 7 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Get caught up on the latest gridiron gameplay as our experts highlight the season's top performers on Inside College Football. Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. Will Reichert set to kick after adding to his point total with a 24-yard field goal to give Alabama a double-digit lead. And then kicks it out of the end zone. Well, former Bulldogs. Right now, the Dog fans are going, dang that transfer portal. Jermaine Burton's got a touchdown catch. Tresman Marshall had the fumble recovery.
I got a feeling that everybody's saying, dang that transfer portal lately. That's one of the oddities of this game, by the way. Both quarterbacks signed where they started and are still here. They waited, and they became the quarterback after a year or so.
So less than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Georgia in need of points on this drive for sure, as we've only got 15 minutes and 48 seconds in regulation to play. Bowers in motion and settles in down to the left side. Carson Beck. Tough catch for Milton, and he got a short gain out of it.
That's the way the game started out, didn't it? Georgia dropping back, Carson Beck looking around, taking his swing passes, just keeping the Alabama defense off balance with short passes, picking them. Can he get back? Can Georgia get back to that style on that opening drive?
The Georgia Tech game is the only game that he hasn't passed for over 250 yards. He's got 176 right now.
Yeah, he was 13 of 20 in that game.
Corner blitz coming, crossing route, and that's going to be a first down to Dominique Lovett, and it's going to bring our 3rd quarter to a finish. We played 3 in Atlanta. The SEC championship on the line. Playoff berth more than likely on the line. Right now, the Tide has got the advantage.
Coach Smart, how does this team fight for their lives in this final quarter?
They're a resilient team. They've been that way all year. Very balanced offense, defense. We got to get a little spark on offense. We're playing much better in the second half on defense. We got 2 freshman linebackers out there that are fighting for their life. I love watching them grow up. I love this environment.
Have fun, Coach.
Thank you. Go Dogs.
I don't know how you can keep smiling. But he loves coaching them, and he knows his team is capable of coming back, but they've got a long ways to go. Down 10 with 15 to play. Carson Beck in trouble, runs into his own lineman and goes down. Justin Aboigbe's got him.
Yeah, and again, just enough coverage in the back end that allowed the Alabama pass rush to flush Beck out of the pocket and push inside. Nobody wide open, maybe a check down, but you know Carson had his eyes deep downfield when he felt that pressure to evacuate the pocket.
Loss of 3. Second down and 13. Play fake to Edwards. Down the middle and into some traffic. Incomplete, intended for McConkey.
So you just wonder, just out loud, the way McConkey is limping, the way that Brock Bowers is not 100%, might it be better for this Georgia team to get their healthy players on the field? It appears to me that Ladd cannot get separation as hard as he's trying. Might it just be better to let the other guys run the routes?
Remember, their biggest play of the night was to Arian Smith for 51 yards. 3rd and 13.
Hard to take your great guys out of the game, though.
Absolutely. Beck. Far sideline, almost picked off, and a good job by Bell to play defense there.
Absolutely, and again, number 9.
Trey Amos.
You bet. Amos to the outside. Good redirection of the receiver. Looks back and could have picked it up. You're right. If Dylan Bell didn't help and play defense, but how about that snap? That play for Amos. He engages the receiver, forces him the way he wants, and then looks back for the ball.
And remember, he's not the starter. He's in for Kool-Aid McKinstry.
And, you know, Nick Saban coaches those corners, and he's going to love that play.
You're not kidding. Brett Thorson has to punt on 4th and 13. Caleb Downs back deep for Alabama. And he'll be forced to take the fair catch around the 20-yard line. So less than a minute into the 4th quarter. Alabama trying to go to 12-1 to keep their college football playoff hopes alive. We're underway, and he's going to be dragged down by Jalen Walker. Kendall Milton, little hesitation, and then explosion. Back, here comes the heat, down he goes. Dallas Turner, he's got a wheel route to Jam Miller. Touchdown.
Caught by Bond.
To the end zone, and it's caught. Jermaine Burton, touchdown Alabama. A look at our IHG Hotels and Resorts game recap. Opening drive, all Georgia. It looked like a machine for the touchdown. And then Jalen Milroe, when he started using his legs, his arm got hot. And the offense, 20 points the last 6 drives. And we welcome you back to the booth. One of the final times you'll see us in this booth. Gary Danielson, Brad Nessler, our whole crew, all the guys that are guys and gals, Melissa, that work so hard, bringing you the games every week.
Just to point out why Kirby, I think, had that attitude talking to Jenny. Remember, in the national championship semifinal, they were 14 points down in the 4th quarter at Ohio State. They scored 18 points and won 42-41. They're used to it, as Kirby said.
But it's Alabama that's got the ball in the lead right now. Law and Miller join Milroe in the backfield. Roydell Williams.
Nice job by Chambliss that time, number 32, reading the zone read and collapsing it on the play.
Pick up of a couple. Chaz Chambliss with the stop.
Right side of your screen right here. Watch him read the play, collapse down and make it.
Same formation. Jalen Milroe has a look. Now he's going to send Law in motion. Play action. The pocket's collapsing, and down he goes inside the 10-yard line. Walthour with the sack.
Walthour was the first one there. Jalen Milroe likes to bleed that pocket. He's the second longest thrower. I mean, holding the ball in the pocket. He holds it longer than almost anyone but one other player in college football. That led to the sack. Must have been great coverage downfield.
That's a 4th sack for the Dogs, and it forces a 3rd and 19. Milroe inside his own 5. Throws on a crossing route to Dupree, the tight end, but he's going to be well short of the first down.
Kevin Bullard that time, I think number 22, saw that play coming all the way across, attacked it. That's one thing against the Georgia secondary. It's tough to get yak yards against them. Their safeties are great tacklers. Bullard sees it, played a lot of football. Watch him close on the play as the ball is thrown and makes the sure tackle.
Devon was the defensive MVP of both playoff games for Georgia last year, including the championship game, at 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. And he comes up with a big stop there to force Burnip to kick. On the run, on the catch, Anthony. A nice return.
That's how you attack a football game.
Anthony Evans.
You don't play it safe. You go up, no fair catch. You try to bust a big one. Kirby said they need a spark. They had a long pass that didn't quite light the fuse. Maybe this one will.
Now on special teams, maybe a 31-yard punt return by Anthony Evans. Nobody's won this championship after trailing by 8 or more in the 4th quarter. Georgia trying to change that statistic.
Think of the stakes. Think of the pressure in this game.
At the Alabama 35, Kendall Milton for 5.
Still don't have to be in any hurry if you're Georgia. Running those plays inside, making first downs. No need to panic.
Tim Smith made the tackle after a 5-yard gain.
Excuse me. Do not want to go away from what you do best.
Remember, Nick Saban in the SEC championship game has had Kirby Smart's number, but in the national championship game it went the other way. Trying to find a hole somewhere is Milton, and he's going to be short by a couple.
If you're Georgia, whatever you call here, you cannot lose yardage. You would think that your field goal kicker could at least get this to a 1-possession game if you don't make the first down. The question will be, if it's 4th and a half a yard, what do you do?
It's becoming a nail biter.
Sugar huddle.
He pulls it. He fires it. Back shoulder incomplete, but a penalty marker down.
This time there's a grab. Arnold's not going to get away from this one. Another aggressive call. Rosemy St. Rosemy.
Accent.
Pass
Jackson
interference
on that play.
Defense. Number 3. Ball placed in the spot of foul. Automatic first down.
Hand fighting all the way down the play, but it's a back shoulder throw, and that's when he grabs him and has his hands all over him. Boy, it's a fight out there, isn't it? Nobody has given an inch. Those corners for Alabama, they don't have their best one in the game. At that time, they attacked Arnold.
Alabama only their 2nd penalty, but a big one. Georgia in the red zone at the 16-yard line. McConkey's in there in a slot to the left. Beck throws. McConkey at the 1. His biggest play of the day. It's 1st and goal.
Matched up, almost a slant type play against Malachi Moore. Play action pass, nobody defend.
Quarterback sneak, touchdown.
Goes fast, and with the extra point, it's a 3-point game.
You saw Carson Beck after the throw to McConkey saying, come on guys, come on, let's get up there. And he knew it was his number, and he scored.
The punt return, the spark Kirby was looking for. The aggressive third down call. 3rd and short. They go stop route to the outside.
Woodring in for the point after an all-important one. Up and good. A little over 10 minutes remaining. First it was Evans, a 31-yard punt return. Then finally, number 84 shows up. McConkey on a bad wheel to the 1. And then a hurry up from the 1. Carson Beck, touchdown Georgia, 20-17. The SEC Championship on CBS, presented by Dr. Pepper, is sponsored by the U.S. Army, GMC, Wheels Up and Delta Airlines, and by Dr. Pepper. Reminder before we're done, we'll have the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. And now this place is rocking as we've got a 3-point game with just over 10 minutes to go.
You know, I'm thinking back all the way to that 2008 SEC Championship when Kirby, as defensive coordinator for Alabama, was stopping Tebow running the ball. They've stopped Milroe running it. Tebow beat him with his arm. Is that going to be what's going to happen for Milroe? Is he going to have to get the yards with the throwing, or can he get some more rushing yards? This Alabama offense in the second half only has 21 yards.
So now there's a little bit more pressure on Alabama's offense, because in the second half, punt, the field goal on a short field, and another punt. So while they had things rolling in the second quarter, not so much since. And the pressure builds even though you're still in front. Bond in motion. Alabama first down from the 25. Milroe throws complete to Bond on the run. Big gainer for Isaiah Bond.
So the question was, what would Alabama do to start moving the football? Tebow went, I think, 8 for 8 in the fourth corner. That's a start for this Alabama offense.
A really good start, a 21-yard pickup. Out to the 46. Roydell Williams straight up the gut, big opening, got almost 10. Boy, he blasted through there.
Yeah, but that was a big hole. Watch inside this time. This has to be a huge, yes, cross block that time. Kind of a gap play right there, and they gashed him with that block. That was not a zone block. That was a gap block. Offensive lineman coming from one side to the other, old trap style.
He got 9 yards, and he'll get a breather. Jam Miller comes in for him. Burton in motion across the field. Milroe looking right. Now scanning the field. Throws late. Got a man wide open over there. It's Bond again. And Bond's got a first down.
Way back when we were first talking to Jalen Milroe about his running prowess, he says, I'm a passer. I know I can run when I want to. I like to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. Those are two good starters after the big touchdown by Georgia.
He told Jenny during the offseason, I don't work on running. I work on passing.
It's paying off.
At the 33-yard line of the Dogs with 8.5 to go. Slow snap, handoff. Jam Miller trying to go wide. Got away from one guy, not the second, but he did get a decent game as he was knocked out by Xavier Sorey.
Another one of those low snaps, handled well. Does sometimes feel like the defense loses the football.
No doubt.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, the linebackers seem lost after that.
Can't defend what you can't see.
Right. I mean, he bounced that out, and there was no second-level tackler there.
Second down at 6. Milroe looking to the sideline. Will have a word with his center. Miller. Yeah, he plowed forward. He's 2 yards shy of the first down, 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, remember the last drive. Georgia was in a position just like this. And they went with the comeback throw to the outside to pick up the first down. It was a penalty, I'll admit it, but they picked it up.
Alabama going with some tempo here on 3rd down and 2. Milroe pumps, in trouble, a shovel pass to Bond again, and a 1st down.
An aggressive call again by this Alabama offense. 3rd and short, they want that 7 points. They don't want 3. And look at that heads-up play by Milroe. I think it was tipped as well.
13-yard pickup on 3rd and 2.
Again, Georgia aggressive, Alabama aggressive. To beat these two teams, you can't play it safe.
Georgia does not want to give up a touchdown here as there's less than 7 minutes to play from the 12-yard line. Milroe going to lob this one over to Bond again. Isaiah Bond. Touchdown, Alabama. He did it again.
Just a little check down. The patience. I believe Jalen Milroe was 4 for 4 on this drive. Did he get across? Was his elbow down, his knee down?
Here's a couple more looks.
Yep, elbow down just short. Right elbow. Gene, did I get it right?
You did get that one right, Gary. You hit it perfectly.
Okay.
Well, it's not if we get it right. It's if the guys here get it right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And they're going to look under review. Call on the field was a touchdown.
Yep, right elbow was down before the ball crossed. And that's one of those plays where you love your player not to reach the ball out, and fumble. Secure the ball, hold it tight. If you have to go 1st and goal from the half-yard line, you do it.
Just that short, right, Gene?
It is that short. I tell you this too, guys. I remember back in the day when we would have a review on this goal line, but I'd have to go all the way back to the other 20 to look at it. Man, that was a long 80-yard spread, Gary.
A lot easier up here, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is, Gary.
Here's a call from Kyle Olson.
After video review, the runner's right arm was down a half-yard short of the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal, half-yard short of the goal line.
Now remember, the clock will wind. So Alabama can take 35 seconds off this clock here before they snap the ball. Here's the play again. Patience, check down. And it did appear that C.J. Allen had Bond, and then when he saw Milroe move up, he let him go.
So it's just that close.
With the new clock rules, instead of stopping it, they'll get a full 25-second play clock on this one. My mistake. So they could run 20 seconds off this if they wanted to.
Isaiah Bond getting a breather. He's had another huge game on this drive. All the completions to number 17. And now Milroe. It appears it's a quarterback sneak with a push from behind. It is. And no signal. Guess he didn't get it. Nope. He got about half of it.
Nice job again. Number 78, Stackhouse. He didn't move back an inch that time.
Talk about losing sight of people.
You know, I mean, an Alabama offensive lineman actually went underneath Stackhouse that time.
Now, Gary's talked about pileups. We had another pileup. And 2nd and goal. Let's see if they try the same thing. Nope. Handoff. No, I don't know about that one either.
I thought he got in late.
He did. Touchdown. Roydell Williams.
How about that answer? Aggressive answer. It started out throwing the ball. 4 pass plays, completing all 4 of them, and then they push it in.
And Roydell Williams
stopped it first, right?
And then second effort and in right there behind Dupree, the tight end, and these offensive linemen. And now a point away from a 10-point cushion again with time running out on Georgia. Will Reichard, the senior place kicker, for the extra point, up and good. 5:47 remaining in the fourth quarter. A 75-yard drive and 9 plays. Roydell Williams with the capper from a yard. Next Saturday at 3 Eastern, it's a game of honor. The annual Army-Navy game presented by USAA. An afternoon of pageantry and celebration begins at noon Eastern on CBS Sports Network, and it's over to CBS at 2:30 for the State Farm College football today. Taking us right up to kickoff. Special day next Saturday for the Army-Navy game here on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. What's at stake here? A 29-game winning streak. I don't think Georgia's worried about that right now. Back-to-back national titles, 8 straight wins in the SEC championship game for Alabama. And the SEC champ has reached the college football playoff all 9 seasons. But for Georgia, that's in doubt. For Alabama, it may be even in doubt because of what's transpired so far. And we still got 5 minutes and 47 seconds to go. Let's take a look at the Ford game changer, that last drive here.
Yeah, we talked about with Jalen Milroe, who Kirby has taken away his running game. Could he answer the bell with the passing game? How about 4 for 4 on this drive in the fourth quarter to come back for this touchdown drive for this Alabama team? And he did it smartly, taking checkdowns when he had to put the ball in position for the 10-point lead on the touchdown.
And Isaiah Bond did a lot of that work as he caught all the passes. Roydell Williams got the touchdown. Georgia's got all their timeouts left, but time is of the essence. 5:47 to go. Carson Beck, little middle screen to the tight end Brock Bowers, and he's close to a first down.
Obviously, Georgia has to go hurry up. No more huddling for this Georgia team unless the clock stops.
Bowers, after that catch of 9+, gets in a slot on the right-hand side on second and a yard. Back. Looking. The Rosamie Jack Saints incomplete, too low. So the clock stops with that incompletion. And it's 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, now you got to pick up this first down. Hand it off and get this first down if you're Georgia.
Dejon Edwards in the backfield will get the carry. I don't know. I don't think so.
No, he didn't. Which means they're going to have to run it again.
And it's fourth down.
And again, without the first down, the clock continues to run.
Just too much penetration, and for Dejon Edwards, maybe a little bit too much hesitation. 4th and inches. Georgia may never see the football again if they don't pick this up. Edwards, this time he's got it, and he comes out the back end and all the way to the 45.
Same play on 2. Let's just block it better. Everybody gets challenged, and this time Van Pran, the center, gets his man and moves him out.
First down at the 45. Now back to the air. Maybe. Oh, and a face mask and a pretty bad one.
Reached out. Chris Braswell trying to make the play. That's just unintended, but it happens. You're one of those pass rushers. You try to grab the shoulder pad, and you end up with a 15-yard gain.
It's Jaheim Otis, not to correct
was it?
Here, but
I'm sorry.
It was 91.
Coming off the edge.
Yep. And he goes out.
He's got a big reach, Jaheim does.
He does.
He's got big everything.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 1. Number 91. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Georgia in that 29-game winning streak trailed Missouri by 13 at one point. Ohio State, Gary mentioned that. The game winner coming back against Auburn. But, man, they got their back against it right now with 4.5 minutes to go and down 10. Beck down the middle, got it, complete. Mekhi Muse. It's a first down.
Yeah, one of those down-the-line receivers that Georgia, 7 different receivers have caught more than 20 passes for this team this year. Another one of those guys they use.
Georgia going hurry up as they got it to the 26-yard line. Back to work. Carson fires in the middle. Got it. Complete. Brock Bowers.
When we look at the space they're giving Brock Bowers on this one. Plenty of room off the line.
Oh, what a catch.
And he reaches out and grabs it.
Playing on one leg. First and goal, Georgia at the 7 for a 20-yard pickup. Kendall Milton trying to battle back. Did. Still going to the 1.
Thought they had him stopped in the backfield. Twisted once or twice on that play.
From the 1-yard line. Beck's got one touchdown today.
They spun him, didn't they?
Yep,
Inside.
Braswell kind of spun him around. A little hip toss right here.
Boygeby might have got some penetration as well.
3rd and goal. Kendall Milton backing in. Did he get there? No, he did not.
Even if Georgia scores, remember, and Kirby's going to take a timeout. He's all the way down to the 3-yard line to call that timeout. He knows how valuable time is right at this point in the game.
Boy, they filled that hole beautifully.
Those 2 stops is buying a timeout from Georgia and probably 30 seconds on the clock.
Terrion Arnold made the first contact. Then he got help from his friends in the middle of the pile, led by Jahad Campbell. And just that close. The elbow closer than the ball, I guess, to the goal line when you look at it again. The faces in Mercedes-Benz Stadium tell the story, whether you're a Tide fan or a Georgia fan, as the #1 team in the country is down 10. College football playoff, the top 8. Texas has already become the Big 12 champion. Washington won the Pac-12 last night.
Somebody's going to be unhappy when this final playoff comes out.
I think that whole graphic said that, right?
Yep.
Fourth down and the season for Georgia. Beck finally gets under center as Bowers splits out as the only receiver. Second man through is Kendall Milton for the touchdown.
They had their heavy offense in there that time. An extra offensive lineman at fullback was lined up.
Georgia 2 for 2 on 4th downs today, none bigger than this one.
I think that's Mekhi Morris, number 56 at fullback. That used to be Jalen Carter back in that fullback spot, but he takes it on and gets him into the end zone.
Woodring's extra point to make it a field goal game is good.
So with 2:52 to go, I don't think Kirby has to go onside. He's got 2 timeouts. He could kick deep and play defense.
75 yards in 10 plays, 3 minutes for Georgia to get it in the end zone, and this one ain't over. Coming up on the U.S. Army postgame show, the SEC Championship Game trophy presentation, plus Adam, Rick, and BJ with Championship Saturday highlights and their impact on the college football playoff. All coming up when we're done here today. Kendall Milton with 2 touchdowns on the ground today, giving him 12 for the year. The last one got him within a field goal. A field goal from 50 earlier after probably a 45-yard kick would have gone through, but remember the false start? That forced Woodring to kick from 50. He hit the right upright. That's the difference in the game right now.
Alabama has their defense, their kickoff hands team in the game. They're trying to give the signal to Kirby to kick it deep.
And it's going to be a squib. Live ball still, and touchdown by Kendrick Law makes the second smart play of the day as a kick returner. Took it on a hop and took a knee. Well, the Ghosts have launched a worldwide phenomenon and have jumped across the pond and landed on CBS. I think we say cheers to that. See why we're big believers in ghosts. The UK Ghosts are haunting us Thursday at 9, 8 Central on CBS.
Well, we all know what the job is in front of this Georgia defense. They've got 2 timeouts. They can't allow Alabama to have a first down.
Pretty simple. And now it's best on best. 2 of the best teams, 2 of the best programs in college football down to the last 251. Empty backfield for Jalen Milroe. And now Bond, his favorite guy, on the move. And he's going to run it, and he's going to come up big. Jalen Milroe. And he wisely hits the deck at the 45-yard line to keep the clock running.
Last time, 4 for 4 on the drive. This time, starts out with a running play to start out the series, and as Ness said, smartly keeps the clock running.
30 yards later.
Just remember, this is the guy they benched after the game, first 2 games.
Doesn't seem possible, does it?
No.
So they can work it down right about at 2 minutes as he has a look up at that clock at the Georgia 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Into the middle of the pile, maybe 3 yards for Roydell Williams. And with timeout with 1:57, Georgia takes its second timeout, trying to somehow hold on. Well, it was on that last play and many others in this game and this season for number 4.
If Alabama continues to run and does not pick up a first down, they will punt with about a minute to go in the game. Because that run by Milroe was on first down, they still could not ice the game.
2nd down and 8 right now. And Milroe will keep it again. It's his game right now.
That's it.
Faked the toss and then went straight ahead.
A little bit of eye candy. 3 Georgia defenders all follow the fake that time, and Milroe takes it up. Only 1 timeout left in the game for Georgia.
And he covered his own fumble on top of everything else.
How about that play call by Tommy Reese? That was punched out by, was it Bullard that punched that ball out? I think it was 22.
Yeah, it was. First and 10. Corner blitz. Georgia trying everything defensively to see if they can get the ball out of there. And finally the whistles blow the end of that play. And Georgia's taken its final timeout. Alabama's that close. Georgia's down 3. This is what the country is starting to talk about already, Gary, if Alabama holds on to this 3-point lead.
Well, first of all, they only have to take a knee. The game is over if they take a knee. Remember earlier in the year, they didn't execute it well. I believe the SEC champion is in no matter what. Somebody else is going to get short-circuited.
There's the knee. The Crimson Tide, the last team to beat Georgia 728 days ago, is going to do it again and snap the 29-game winning streak of the 2-time defending national champions.
And Jalen Milroe came through. He came through in the passing game on the drive before, and this time with his legs, he finished them off.
He pulled out a miracle at Jordan-Hare last week, and he pulled out all the stops this week in the SEC championship game.
Now, whether Texas goes even over an undefeated Florida State team, that could happen. But I think Alabama's in the play.
They are 12-1. They're perfect against Georgia in SEC championship games. So is Nick Saban over Kirby Smart in those battles that have been epic. And they are the Crimson Tide, your 2023 Southeastern Conference champs. Jermaine Burton, one of the former Georgia Bulldogs, who had a starring role here today. Roydell Williams, who filled in so beautifully for Jace McClellan, who was out with an injury. And Georgia, with some of their top players, maybe not nearly 100%, but they battled right to the end.
I can understand Georgia saying, hey, we lost one game in 3 years, and we should still deserve a look at possibly the playoffs, but that's going to be up to the committee and how they look at it.
Yep. Georgia came in having won 45 of their last 46 games. And it goes right down to the wire here in Atlanta as Alabama continues their winning streak. And with the winning coach and the star of the game is Jenny Day.
Coach, you just beat the unbeatable to win the SEC championship. Why was your Alabama team the one to accomplish that feat?
Hey, I guess they wanted to prove to all the naysayers out there that we could do it. I knew at halftime that these guys are going to keep fighting, but our guys showed great perseverance to grind it out, get some great drive to answer when they scored. This is great, man. I'm so proud of this team. Proud of our players, proud of our fans. This is great. Winning the SEC is big.
It's been a transformational year for this team, and you've had to prove a lot. Do you think you've proved enough to get to that college football playoff?
That's not really for me to say. I'm going to enjoy this win, and we'll figure it out tomorrow. But we did our part. We did what we had to do to have a chance.
And how about this first-year starter over here, his first SEC championship start in this? What about the job that Jalen Milroe did tonight?
Jalen did a great job. I mean, especially in the drive when we had to have it. I mean, he made some key plays. We made some big catches right before the half. Made some big-time throws when we scored right before the half. So we had a couple fantastic drives, and obviously just because of him.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. Hello, Jalen. How were you able to create this moment and secure this SEC championship with your team?
When we talk about falling back to level of training, the offseason grind, it all comes into games like this. You know, I'm proud of the whole team, because at the end of the day, the biggest thing we did is try to get 1% better and never give up.
When you think about your personal journey, you go back to Texas, you go back to getting replaced in week 3, and then you create this moment. How have you been able to lead to this success?
Keep the main thing. Before anybody had an opinion on me, I had my purpose already. So the biggest thing was just stay true to myself, and I had the right support system around me to uplift me.
Congratulations, Jalen.
Thank you. Roll Tide!
I remember back earlier this season, he said, the word is finish. Alabama finished tonight in Atlanta. Brock Bowers, no reason to hang your head. You played on one good wheel and gave it all you could. Carson Beck, perfect season, ended up with one defeat when they wanted it so badly.
A lot of clutch play out there in this football game. Answers from both sides. Two teams fighting. They both wanted it. Obviously, in sports, only one winner.
Yep, too bad. Congratulations to the Crimson Tide of Alabama, the Southeastern Conference champions. And now it's time for the play of the game, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. We take you to a 4th and 4 for Alabama. Jalen Milroe looking for his favorite receiver, who dives and makes a controversial catch late in the second quarter. And then one play later, Milroe to a former Georgia Bulldog for the touchdown. Here's how Chris Stewart called it for Alabama radio.
Jalen looking, plenty of time, firing left side. It is juggled. It is caught. Touchdown! Jermaine Burton, and Alabama adds to its lead with 48 seconds to go in
Every play in this game was vital. That was a big one, and it was our play of the game as the celebration starts down on the field. Congratulations to Coach Saban and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. They lost at home to Texas, and then they put a string together for the ages.
Yes, a lot of people think this might be Nick Saban's best coaching job for the Georgia football team. They got all the way to here with a wounded football team, and they did not have a walkover. They had to earn it, and Alabama was the better team.
And they stay perfect against Georgia in the SEC title game with a thrilling 27-24 win. Still plenty more to come from Atlanta, including the trophy presentation. We'll get you to Adam Zucker and company for the U.S. Army postgame show right after these messages. Congrats to the Crimson Tide, and congrats to Georgia on a tremendous season. But the Tide wins it tonight in Atlanta, 27-24.
CBS Sports presents the U.S. Army postgame show.
Alabama holds on to win its third SEC title in the last 4 years while bringing Georgia's 29-game winning streak to an end. The Tide improved to 4-0 against the Dogs here in Atlanta when conference supremacy is on the line, and now await their playoff fate. We will discuss that a bunch on this show, the U.S. Army postgame show. Adam Zucker alongside Rick Neuheisel and Brian Jones as Alabama wins what felt like a 12-round heavyweight knockout fight.
Bama, where legacies are born. Amazing football game. We figured it'd kind of be a classic as we've witnessed here between these two. But the resiliency of this football team, 20 yards heading into that last scoring drive. And Milroe, Magic, once again, all the defensive coordinators out there, just know Milroe is a ninja to all your schemes and concepts.
And yet he was inconsistent.
Yes.
And Carson Beck was inconsistent, but we forgot to mention this is their first go-round on this kind of stage with this kind of intensity. So it was to be expected that would be a little bit. And the defenses were going toe-to-toe. If you look at the numbers, you're going to say those are winning defensive efforts. Yes. But because it was a prize fight, you saw them swapping leather on those final drives because they were desperate. A 9-play 75 drive, a 10-play 75 drive, and then 2 great runs by Milroe to get the thing iced. Unbelievable ball game.
Yes, and Milroe, for it being his first time on this stage after the amazing performance last week, he shined down the stretch using his legs, and Alabama has now won 9 straight SEC championship game appearances. So they're no strangers to the celebration as we go down to the field, and Jenny Dell for the SEC trophy presentation.
It is time to hand out some hardware. We got your 2023 Southeastern Conference champions, the Alabama Crimson Tide. We want to welcome on stage the president of the University of Alabama, Stuart Bell. We also have athletic director Greg Byrne and the commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, and of course the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Nick Saban. We're going to start with your MVP first. And the MVP for the 2023 SEC Championship is Jalen Milroe. We can see the emotion on your face. Talk us through what you're feeling right now.
The biggest thing was in the offseason when a lot of people doubted his team, I never gave up on his team. That was the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing. We had a purpose before anybody had an opinion of us. And the biggest thing, our motto was, let all naysayers know.
And how do you do that? The link? That's right. You wouldn't be in this position, though, and you just mentioned it, without all of these guys behind you. How much fight is in this team?
100%. You know, we have a great group of guys in the locker room. They're steadily looking to get 1% better each and every day, and I'm so proud of the guys because they never gave up. We have a great locker room. We come to compete every single day, and so I'm just proud of the guys.
Congratulations, Jalen. Next up, we have the winning head coach of the 2023 SEC Championship, and Nick Saban. Coach, It has been a year. There are people that have doubted this program. How were you able to meet this moment here tonight?
This is a team. These guys right here are what you call a team. They play together. They respect each other. They work hard. They're responsible, take responsibility for their own self-determination. I mean, this is a great team because they play together as a team. They overcome adversity. They persevere. They did it all year, and I've never been prouder of a group of guys than these guys in terms of what they accomplished tonight, because Georgia's got a really good team. They got a great team, great coaches, but our guys overcome it. They showed today and proved that they can win against anybody.
And Coach, when you look out into this crowd and you see the support of all these fans, what message would you like to give the people who have just been along for this entire ride with you?
Never give up. I mean, this team persevered. They had a lot of naysayers out there early in the season after 2 or 3 games. All right, and we had something to prove. So we persevered. They were resilient. They overcame adversity. They always came back in games and did what they had to do. So that's life. How about doing that in life? That's a lesson for everybody out there.
Thank you, Coach. It's now my honor to introduce the Commissioner of the SEC. We have Greg Sankey here.
Thank you. Let me begin first by asking you to join me in thanking our friends from CBS for 26 incredible years of presenting the Southeastern Conference football. Join me in congratulating Georgia on a great season. I'm 2 for 2 there. How about we thank the City of Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the best venue in America. And it's my privilege to present the 2023 SEC Football Championship Trophy to Coach Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Let's hear it one more time for your 2023 SEC champions, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
And we had our congratulations as the confetti flies at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Congratulations from us as the Tide does roll through the Bulldogs again to win another SEC crown. Well, it's been quite a ride for us, our entire crew, Gary and I, the people that have come before us, all the places we get to see and the people we get to meet and the coaches we get to be around. And you know, some roads have to end somewhere, and our road comes to an end tonight with the SEC. But, partner, you always say we've had the best seat in the house.
We sure have, but I want to go back a little bit farther. The concept by Sean McManus and his team to take in college football a regional product and make it a national 3:30 game. His detail was to hire the best people he could find. Behind the camera, in the truck, producer, director, cameraman, and then started at 3:30 with that music. And then the great voices like you and Vern and Nance and everybody that's been involved. Sitting in this seat, Todd Blackledge before me, myself for 18 years, and they documented it. They documented it 1 second, the faces. But I think to close the loop on it, what we really did is nothing new. And I'm going to steal a line from another network, but I think it's going to have a pass here. What we really did was follow the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Ness, take us off the air.
I'll try. You know, Craig Silver's been here the whole time, our producer. Marvelous. Great friend. Great talent. Steve Milton, our director. Our entire crew that's somewhere between 70 and 85 people strong every week. And the SEC gets a new TV home next week, and good luck to them. I hope that they are treated as well as we hope that we've treated them in the past. We've got a new TV home next year, too, so hope you come along with us. But finally, I think just to say, you know, whether you are in your favorite bar and having a beer, you're in your easy chair at home, or you're watching us streaming on your devices, whatever, we want to thank you, the fans and the viewers, and everybody that's been with us every Saturday at 3:30 for the SEC on CBS.
Way to go, partner.
Good night from Atlanta.
Good evening,
evening, everybody.
It's a perfect day for football.
Glad we could share Southeastern Conference football with you.
Big dreams, what you know about 'em. Big fears, just forget about
The cowbells are out. You can feel it in the air.
This game gets folks in this state stirred up. Oh, jump pass. How about that? Oh, my gosh. Newton has his man open. Caught. Lutzenkirchen.
What a comeback. One for the ages.
LSU remains undefeated.
That is cool.
Oh, my gracious.
Yep.
How about that?
This could be the best time. This could be the best time of our life.
Davis gets a block. An answered prayer. Dobbs heaves it. It's caught. Jawan Jennings.
A Hail Mary that's full of grace. Jalen Hurts. Touchdown. Joe Burrow. Might be a Heisman moment right there.
This is jaw-dropping.
Isaiah Bond on a 4th and a mile. Bond. Isaiah Bond.
Three, two, one.
Stand up!
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or just announced just in time for Black Friday. Get $6,000 purchase allowance on select 2023 Sierra models when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP.
Around here, we like to keep things simple and honest.
Sure do. That's why at Progressive we show you rates from other companies, even if they're lower than ours, so you can choose what's best for your family.
Comparing rates used to be a hard day's work, but not with AutoQuote Explorer.
Need me to help again?
No.
So join us and taste why Progressive is the name people trust. Sorry, are we talking about apples now or insurance? Why is that funny?
The Sonic Footlong Chili Cheese Coney is now just $1.99. That's right, only $1.99 for your favorite coney with warm chili and melty cheese. The math may not be mathing, but the chili is definitely chilling. Sonic Footlong Quarter-Pound Chili Cheese Coney.
Time's ticking. Shop now to save on the gifts they really want. Take 30% off everything while you still can. And celebrate the season at Zales.
Ready to ride?
Lawman Bass Reeves. New series now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
When we come to work for the SEC on CBS, as we welcome you back to the U.S. Army postgame show, we hope we get a good one. We often get a great one, especially when either of these two dynasty programs are involved. And today, we got a heavyweight fight that went 12 rounds as Alabama gets it done 27-24. And we're not done here yet. We got to talk CFP. We got to talk a little bit more about this game. Adam Zucker along with Rick Neuheisel and Brian Jones. Did Nick Saban get younger today? He looked like it in that interview.
Well, let me say it this way. It's not Sunday morning yet, but it felt like that was one of the best Saban sermons I've heard in a long time. It's about this team. It's about this group of guys that overcame adversity, that just got better over the time and didn't listen to all the outside noise. Brian, isn't that what our locker rooms have been all through time? That's college football. That's why it always delivers.
Every locker room in any and every sport, they preach the same. Shut out the noise. It's all about what's occurring in here. And we just witnessed the old normal. Coach Saban standing taller than the clouds again. And, he kept receipts. So he was listening to everyone, said, all right, this is a different Bama. They won't be able to climb out of this hole after the Texas loss, after what was almost a debacle in Tampa versus USF. But they did, because he's one of the best that's ever done it at developing players, and that message resonates. He integrates them into that Bama experience, and this is the result.
I asked you guys what year it was when Bama's defense was all over the field making plays, especially in that first half, and it is here in the same spot against the same team where this winning streak first was born out of, that it comes to an end at 29 games for Georgia. Let's send it down now to Dennis Dodd, who spoke with Kirby Smart moments ago.
Kirby, tough loss, close loss. What was the message?
Tough message. Resilient bunch, never say die attitude. Great team, but tough loss for us. And I thought our guys kept fighting throughout it. Battle back. We lost our tackle during the game there, and had two of the wideouts down. But I was really proud of the way the guys kept fighting and was really resilient.
The turnover was what it was, but what was the difference tonight? Did Alabama throw any wrinkles at you that you hadn't seen before?
I don't think so. We busted a coverage with a freshman linebacker in there that he hit a wheel route on, and kids in the game because the other two were down, and they hit a wheel route for a free touchdown, and then we gave them the field goal off the turnover. We ended up stopping them on defense, which did a great job there, but that was 10 points.
There's lots of football left and a close game for the SEC title. You were number one most of the year. Make your case for the playoff.
Well, Bill Hancock said it's not the most deserving. It's the best four teams. If that ain't the best four teams out there, I don't believe any man or woman sitting on that committee doesn't believe that that's not one of the best teams that was number one coming into it.
Well said. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I never want to see conference championship games lose their importance and their impact, but could we just go to 8 this year, PJ?
I begged for that when they did. They're going to 12. Now I said, listen, 20. I told you at the beginning of the game, winning one game is hard. 29 in a row is off the charts. This guy is one of the stars of our profession. He's going to be in that category for a long time, especially given all that he has to enjoy there as the coach at Georgia. It's a marvelous program, and he's right. They are one of the best four. The question is, what will this committee consider in terms of determining the top four?
No doubt, an emotion that's coming out of this young man, Jalen Milroe. I said earlier, when others were doubting him, all he did was put his head down and continue to work. He supported his teammates, and those are tears of joy, but those tears also remind him of this journey, everything he overcame, everything this team has had to overcome, the adversity. That's what tears are for once you reach the promised land.
This is the beauty of college football and has been since the beginning of time. That young man went from benched to the best for Bama. That's hard to imagine. You're benched, and now you're the best. You're the MVP of the SEC championship game. That's college football in a nutshell.
And we wonder if we'll see number 4 among the top 4 when the rankings come out tomorrow. But what he did to rebound from the loss to Texas and that downpour against South Florida that he had to watch to get them to this stage after the 4th and Milroe last week, and then putting the team on his shoulders when it mattered most and they needed first downs. I mean, what an amazing run for him. Of course, it's up to the committee now, and we had to get one last sample from Texas as well in the Big 12 championship. The only team to beat Alabama this year. Remember, they did it week 2 in Tuscaloosa. They're number 7, Bama number 8, Vince Young on hand, and in their final Big 12 game, BJ, they put on a show.
Yeah, they did. They had some razzle-dazzle early after scoring on their initial drive. They actually scored on their first 4 series. Jatavian Sanders, the tight end there with the touch, and then more razzle-dazzle. The big fella, T'Vondre Sweat, All-American defensive lineman. This guy has really had an exceptional season all year long. And Jaden Blue here, they've got injuries they've had to overcome. We're talking about Bama, what they had to deal with. The same for this Texas team, and I would say even more so. Keelan Robinson played for the Crimson Tide, transferred to Texas when Sark took over, and he's holding that beautiful Big 12 trophy. The first time Texas has held that since 2009 when they faced Bama in the title game.
Yeah, Colt McCoy got hurt. Alabama won, and of course that is Alabama's former offensive coordinator, Steve Sarkisian, who watched Quinn Ewers set Big 12 championship game records with the 452 yards passing and 4 touchdowns, and Sark was confident after the game.
This may be a little bullish of me saying, but we'll play anybody in the country. Like I'm not shying away from that part. Like I feel very comfortable if we get into this tournament, we'll play anybody. And we'll find out if we're good enough or not. But I feel like we have the team, the culture, the scheme, and the versatility of this team to play against anybody.
And of course, Alabama needed help today. They helped themselves for sure. Texas, same boat, and now that big game at 8 o'clock where Florida State may be more vulnerable against Louisville than we assume Michigan would be against Iowa. But we've never had 8 teams going into conference championship weekend with a shot of some kind, even Ohio State, who was idle today. But 7 of the 8 in action and just wild, especially watching number 8 beat number 1, which would be how they were seeded if it were a national quarterfinal, which it felt like.
Yeah, no question. Texas is in a great position. The head-to-head matters more than anything, and that conference title should matter. I understand where Kirby Smart's coming from because we've moved the goalposts as far as which metrics supersede others over the years because we haven't been happy with just 4 teams. That's why we're going to 12. But Texas won the conference title. Texas went on the road and beat the SEC's now conference champion in their backyard and beat them by double digits. And everyone wants to keep pointing to the fact that it happened in September. It doesn't matter when it happened. It happened.
It happened. And
what I can tell you, the folks in Grapevine are ordering doubles because they got some problems here tonight.
Double coffees. I want your predictions on what's going to happen when those rankings get unveiled tomorrow.
I'm making the assumption that Michigan beats Iowa tonight just because Iowa's been so devoid of offense all season long. It's been a wonderful year. But I'm going to have Michigan as the 1 seed. I'm going to have Washington as the 2 seed. They've been brilliant all season long. My 3 seed is going to be Texas, and my 4 seed is Alabama. Florida State, I think, is going to get beat tonight. And even if Florida State finds a way to beat Louisville, I still think Alabama is the better team without Jordan Travis. As sick as I am as a coach to say that, because it should happen on the field, but that's not the criteria.
Fall in that cab. I'm with you 100%. I'm going to assume Michigan wins tonight as well. More of a complete team than Iowa is. It's going to be UW. Fabulous year for Kalen DeBoer and the Huskies. And it's going to be Texas for all the reasons I mentioned a moment ago. And it's either going to be Bama or Florida State. I'm going to say it's going to be Bama. You're not going to leave the SEC out.
Amazing. So Florida State, though, should they win?
That debate's between Florida State and Bama. Should Florida State win? The debate is over whether Texas gets in over Alabama. It's done.
If they stick with chalk, just by virtue of what you do on the field, Florida State will be in the 3-hole, and Texas will be in the 4-hole. But I don't believe they can look at themselves and say Florida State's better than Texas and Alabama as we saw them play today.
Guys, it's been real.
Oh, my.
We're coming up toward the top of the hour here. And Brad Nessler covered so much. And, we've all been sitting here reminiscing as the SEC on CBS run comes to an end. And it's been very good to the SEC, and it's been very good to CBS and all of us and our predecessors, our old chairmates, Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, yes, Archie Manning, Tony Barnhart, and everyone behind the scenes, Tim Weinkoff and Linda Molina, who keep us on track, Vin DeVito before Tim. And, look, it's something that someone said to me in the hotel today. The SEC on CBS isn't what we watch. It's what we do every Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. And it has been a thrill of a lifetime to be a part of this team. You guys know how I feel about you. The Eagles said it best, right? All alone at the end of the evening when the bright lights have faded to blue. Listen, guys, we got to be with the SEC on CBS, and we took it to the limit every time.
Yes, we did.
Took it to the limit.
No doubt, buddy. It's such a joy and a pleasure to work with you guys. All the guys you mentioned when I first got a chance to sit in this seat, Timmy B and Spencer, they welcomed me with open arms. Tony Barnhart and Archie Manning as well. So it's been a wonderful ride, and to work every afternoon, Saturday afternoon, on the preeminent conference and the run that they've been on.
Oh, my.
You can't draw it up. You can't write it in a script any better than how it has played out.
And by the way, thanks to our leadership, we'll be bringing these microphones to the Big Ten on CBS. And the number one question that we get isn't, are you going to be okay? It's, Are you still going to have that music?
Yes.
Well, yes, we are.
Got to. Gotta have that music. Wherever we go, that music goes.
And a salute and then some to all the fine people in the SEC.
Yes.
We have had such a blast getting to know them and to bring their stories because they are stories and then some. Watching goalposts go into a river is a thrill.
We'll have to find some Great Lakes to do it in next year. And that'll do it for us. Tonight on CBS begins with Reindeer in Here and Robbie the Reindeer, followed by a new 48 Hours. The NFL on CBS continues tomorrow with regional action. Many will see the Broncos and Texans. It all gets started at noon Eastern with the NFL Today, JB and the guys. And we thank you for watching the U.S. Army postgame show. Congratulations to the SEC champion, Alabama Crimson Tide. And thank you for taking this incredible SEC on CBS journey with us. We'll see you next week for the 124th Army-Navy game. And we'll see if Bama is in the CFP.